Oh no, are we live? Hi, boys and girls.
Howdy, Steve.
Hi, Dad.
What's up?
So what's a VIGE?
Yeah, I was going
VIGE.
to ask that too.
It's a rare wine that
I thought that was
SFT
like a
is.
French toilet or something.
He drunk too much of it. A Vigee.
Oh,
I
what
got
is
a VIGE.
VIGE? What is it?
I got it right here for you. I'm working on it. There's a man named Peter Borger who is some kind of a creationist critter. And I think, I don't know when this was. Okay, this was 2009. And he come up with this idea of, okay, this is all about created heterozygosity. And this is Standing for Truth and the Fruit Bat were going on the other night about VIGs, or variation-inducing genetic elements. That's what they call transposons or retroviruses and all that. So they were trying to make an argument that God stuck them in there so that they can do all these wonderful things, like Mr. Borger here says. Let's see. I argued that organisms are equipped with flexible, multi-purpose genomes. They're able to conquer the world through adaptive radiation of baronomes. And part one of this thing, he goes through baronomes. And I've got all three of them. I think if you just search for the title, you'll find it. But anyway, it's a
Did you see what Orge just said?
undefeatable acronym.
No, Orge said, damn it, more bio.
Oh, no, we're going to get it. I got a picture of a rock, Orge.
Well, I asked him about what he thought about the salt glaciers in Iran, and he never answered me.
Yeah, these salt glaciers.
So, yeah, the salt glaciers, okay. We talked about them the other day. You didn't bother to show up.
You didn't even care.
You don't care anymore.
But anyway, I'm hoping that if I look into this article, he's going to tell me how, okay, transposons kind of, they do have hot spots, but they kind of jump wherever in the hell they want. So if God is planning something, how can you rely on something that is absolutely relies on randomness to do what he wants, right? To create variation. And basically what they're saying, okay, these transposons are responsible for a lot of variation in species and genomes and, evolution itself. So they're taking this, so they're kind of taking it, they're taking evolution and saying, well, God did it this way, but he did it 6,000 years ago. So they're exactly the same. What was that?
I sneezed. I'm sorry. I couldn't get to the mute button fast enough.
I wasn't sure what happened. I thought you stepped on a dog or something. Because I was talking. Anyway, so they're saying they're the same as old Earth. Old Earth creationists, that is, well, a little bit different. What do they call them? Theistic evolutionists, right? Because God basically created the universe in such a way that it would create all of, the variation of life, right? So it was a front-loaded universe. So instead they're saying that it's a front-loaded genome, but they're relying on endogenous retroviruses. And I'm sorry, but it doesn't fucking work, Standing for Truth. If you would come over here and we could work out some of the details, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work like that. I mean, in order for a transposon to have some effect, other than cancer, what it has to do. Okay, every transposon has in it something called regulatory elements. In other words, there's something that turns the transposon genes on. And so if the transposon copies itself in front of a gene, an existing gene, it's going to it's going to upregulate that gene so you'll get more of that protein, right? And that happens all of the time. And sometimes that happens and it kills us. We end up dying from it. But I mean, but it has to do that. And it perhaps has to, I mean, there has to be some mutation and other evolution on top of that and natural selection in order for that to make a positive change of a species, to create a lion from a house kitty or whatever. So I don't know how well they've worked this model out, but this guy here, he's a pretty serious guy, and he must have worked it all out, right? So like he's going to tell us down here. He's got some diagrams.
Hello.
Hey, Midnight.
How you doing, Midnight?
I sent you a link early so you could come
Really
in.
well.
Talk to
I'm
me.
fine. Well, yeah. I was busy, like moving stuff around. I just got home. I just got back in my apartment after spending some time with family.
Okay, wait a minute. So he just renamed transposons variation-inducing genetic elements. He just renamed them.
Yeah, coming up with your own words for this is so weird. It's like the bizarro universe of science.
Yeah, we see similar designs. He
Me
calls it
do science.
Anyway. Maybe
Thank you,
who
Bizarro
can
Midnight.
What was that?
I said thank you, Bizarro Midnight. You were trying to imitate Bizarro, right?
Yes.
Okay, I spotted it.
Okay, I didn't spot that. Yep, the RNA virus paradox. Anyway, so we'll give this a read. I think we should get into ERVs. Seriously. What do you think?
It's a fine subject. It's a very fine subject. Very interesting.
I've been pretty busy. I have 63 papers downloaded. Well, I have actually about 75 papers downloaded. Plus, I found a book which has 55 papers in it. It's like a lot of papers. Lots of reading. And it's very interesting how much what they can do.
You got 130 papers.
Did you do the math?
Yeah, I did that basic addition, but I just was gonna say you should roll 130 joints.
Oh yeah, but I don't know why anybody smokes marijuana.
You don't know anybody that smokes marijuana?
No, I don't know why anybody would smoke marijuana. I mean, now I smoked it back when I was like 20 years old, and then I tried it again when I was 36, when it was supposed to be really strong. I'm telling you, it wasn't the same shit. It was not the same drug at all. The one back in the 60s and the 70s was kind of a psychedelic drug. It actually made you, really like colors more intense and everything, just, and this stuff did that a little bit, but mostly it just made me socially inept and paranoid and kind of dead in the head feeling.
Well, just because. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, for somebody who's kind of close to your age, your thesis is wrong, because weed is so much better today, and what it is that you changed probably, and that's why it didn't have the same effect on you. I
don't know. Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
You also want us to consider that maybe the strain, the strain you smoked had an effect on you, because shockingly there are different strains.
Yeah.
The high was like, I mean, we had this Indian hash and all this stuff, and it was all pretty much had the same psychedelic high, but it was more of a psychedelic high than this downer sort of feeling. This sort of, I don't know. I can't describe it. There's something wrong with it. I just think you guys are getting
maybe
screwed.
Maybe it was just fucking bunk,
Okay, they're producing really, really powerful strains with a lot of different chemicals in them besides THC. And I think they're putting a little too much of that in there, and they should put a little more THC in there. Just tetrahydrocannabinol, because I think that was the stuff that we were smoking. and we weren't getting a lot of the other powerful plant chemicals that I think make you a little bit high in different ways. So you kids don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You know, you want to get high, you got to go to the 60s.
Speed. The important thing is that you know what the fuck you're talking about.
Anyway, so I'm worried about the bugs.
So can I ask
Why I'm worried about the bugs?
no, I want to ask Andrew Cumming. I think Andrew has some splaining to do.
Yeah, you keep bouncing out.
Yeah, it's like you show up before the show starts, get a look at the room, and then you leave. Like, so which one was it of us that offended your sensibilities this time?
What in the hell? Karyotype rearrangement. What the fuck kind of diagrams? Genetic algorithm output? Boy, he's really got this figured out. I'm going to take a look at this. And I'm worried about...
I wonder if among all his peers and colleagues, Dr. Dan is the only one that knows about VIGEs or VIGEs or whatever they're called.
Well, SFT talks about them all the time. And he complains that no atheists know about them. And probably the reason is because it's been like beaten to death for 14 years now. And it's like really old shit. That just doesn't, that never added up. I mean, none of their, if they made any predictions here, I'm guessing that they didn't happen. So, shuttle vector between organisms. Okay, we did all this big and intermediate noses. Oh, where did all the big, small, and intermediate noses come from? Oh my goodness. Okay.
What? Whose paper is this again?
Peter Borger. He's probably, is he in American Loons? He should be.
That's something I do not know.
Peter Borger. Creationist American Loons. So does anybody want to know why I'm worried about the bugs?
Tell me why you're worried about the bugs.
Normally, I have a cloud of bugs around my light out there. I've got a light pointing off into the woods for the kitties. And this year, when I catch bugs, I maybe get about 200 bugs. I used to get like 1,000. And so it's really dry here.
Well, and you know, the thing is though too, is depending on where you're talking about, like where I'm at, like my brothers and me have noticed there's like way more ants this year. Like
really?
Tons of fucking, yeah, like I was walking down the sidewalk to the store up the street here the other day, and I saw what I thought was like some potting soil or something somebody had spilled on the sidewalk, and I just walked around it. And then on my way back, I got a better look at it, and it was just a mass of ants sitting on the sidewalk.
Wow.
Seen a lot more ants this year.
Okay, Peter Borger. Let's see, our own Peter B is not what he is claimed to be. He says he implied in his post that he was a member of the science faculty at Sydney University, a prestigious center for higher learning in this country. Let's see, the first post to the feedback by Peter, let's see. I wish to make clear that Mr. Borger is not now and never has been a member of the science faculty at the University of Sydney. In fact, I rather question a description he uses for himself as a molecular biologist. Just wanted to set the record straight. And this is from somebody at the university. So, ow.
All I can think of every time you say his name is Victor Borga.
Borga.
You remember him?
Yep. Okay, listed as a
postdoctoral. I was thinking the same thing, John.
Oh, yeah, because all that's run through my head now is that bit that he used to do where he vocalized all the punctuation.
Yeah, that was that. It's starting to become scary because that's what I was thinking about too.
Like,
Okay. Peter Borger is a doctor. He's got a postdoctoral fellow in the Department of Pharmacology at the University of Sydney. His specialty appears to be respiratory illness, not evolution. So there you go.
Huh.
There you go.
So,
Yeah,
did you guys hear what fucking NASA did?
NASA?
Yeah.
Did they blow something up?
What they did, what I would refer to as a punk move.
What'd they do?
Right after Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos did their flights, they changed their definition of what an astronaut is.
Good deal. Good deal.
I mean, what is it? That's a bitch move right there, man.
I know. I think it's fair. Just tit for tat. We'll see where you come back.
But it doesn't matter. They can have their own definition. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. What is the cosmological argument? Let's see. So well, no, I'm not ready for that. But you did that paper yesterday, or that article yesterday about DNA study finds less than 2% of the human genome is human.
Right. Yeah. You looked at that?
I haven't had a chance, but I did download the paper that it's the actual paper that it's about.
Wait, didn't I send you that?
I thought it was John.
Oh, it was me.
Oh, well, I did. I guess I misremember because I actually did run across that article also, and I was going to send it to you, but I got sidetracked.
Okay. An ancestral recombination graph of human, Neanderthal, and Denisovan genomes. So, or Denisovan. Is that how you say that? Denisovan.
Maybe you did send it midnight, but Speed couldn't read it because it probably was just a clear white page, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Funny, John.
No,
Yeah,
hilarious. I mean, it came from you, so I just.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. That's a little funny.
Was that an albino joke?
That was an albino joke.
Boy, I'm so proud of you that you figured that out.
Wow, condescending much? I know you're fucking with me, John. Relax.
Yeah.
A little touchy tonight. So you sent me 4 neuroscience papers, and I said 3 of them were pretty good. One of them was particularly good, I thought, but I can't remember which one it was, unfortunately. But one of them was particularly bad because it was about Roger Penrose and it's quantum bullshit. And you said,
and I said what?
Oh, I responded to your email. I said it's bullshit and they haven't done their work. And you said really good argument. And I think you were being facetious.
No, really, really, Speed. How can you tell? It's text.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I can barely read it. I can barely read the text. It was so faded.
Well, that's like really good argument. Like recently, there was this person who I had called out for doing something, and their argument was, well, this other person did the same thing, which they really hadn't. But
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's a very good argument. You know, there's another jackass out there in the world. Like, so, you know, it's like whenever anybody makes that argument that, and I think it's a fallacy. You know, I can't remember which one it is, but something to do with hypocrisy. Is it too quoque? But like, I just can't imagine, like, why didn't lawyers pick up on this argument long ago? Like the lawyers for Jeffrey Dahmer or for who was the wacky fucking hippie dude, that Helter Skelter dude,
Charles Manson.
Yeah. Why didn't the lawyers for Charles Manson get up in front of the judge and say, look, Your Honor, you can't send our client to prison because there's other people in the world that have committed murder.
Yeah.
You know, like, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to send them all to jail, you know? What the hell? It just ain't fair. Yep. Well, the problem, there's a problem with the quantum argument by Penrose and Hameldorf, Dorferoff, Hammerkopf.
Well, I mean, I read, I need to reread it, but I read it, and they say they don't know yet whether, whether consciousness, whether consciousness is quantum. They're still doing, they're still looking into it. Like, Penrose may have put forth the theory, the hypothesis, that consciousness is quantum mechanics and fractals, but they don't really know yet. So
well, Penrose knows a lot about physics and cosmology, and he had an intuition, and he hooked up with this Jack Meoff guy, and Stuart Jack Meoff, or is it Hammerhead, Hammerhawk? I never remember his name. Anyway, Stuart, an anesthesiologist or some fucking thing, and they came up with this kind of crackpot idea about microtubules because they found, I think, quantum effects in the microtubules when they hook up. There are a whole bunch of proteins that form this kind of fascinating structure that creates a tube, and it runs along every axon. Okay. And the microtubule apparently has some sort of quantum effects going on between the different proteins because of the crystalline nature of this, this microtubule, right? And I don't even know if they've proven that much. I think that paper, they're trying to find it, right? And so then they said, oh, well, if a bunch of these things got together and there was like this quantum field, and you got to have wooey music playing when you say quantum field, and all these different neurons hooked up together, maybe it could create a quantum field of consciousness. That's about as far as they've thought about it.
Okay, why is
there's
it
a problem?
Okay, what is the problem according to you?
Okay, so cognition works by one neuron firing and then lighting up one or more other neurons right across the synapse, which is a chemical gap junction. These neurotransmitters go across the junction. When the electric signal gets to the end of the neuron, it takes these little bubbles of neurotransmitters and it throws it out into this gap. The next nerve picks it up on a dendrite. It's called a dendrite. Picks it up, and then if enough of this stuff is picked up, then that nerve will fire, right? Well, for any cognitive element, or what Joaquin Fuster calls a cognate, like something that like something blue, like in your head when you think of the color blue, right? You're actually dealing with around probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 200,000 to 300,000 different neurons are lighting up to make that blue cognate, right?
Okay.
So the scale is wrong. They're talking about a quantum effect inside of a axon, inside of a neuron that somehow has an effect on this cognition, which requires the firing of this, 100,000 or so neurons. Okay. That doesn't make sense because they have no effect on that synapse at all. And to make matters worse, microtubules are always constantly, continually, dynamically being deconstructed at one end and constructed at another end. So they're constantly being built.
Yeah.
So where's the information going to reside? In a crystal.
Yeah, I honestly, maybe I'm just retarded, but I don't know how anything you said goes against the hypothesis.
Okay, the problem is that you can't make the connection from a little tiny quantum effect in a crystal which is very crystals are repeats over and over again, the same pattern, right? So
Yeah,
you got some quantum effect. So you got some quantum effect going on between two proteins in this crystal, and you know how tiny these quantum effects are, right? They're in a protein. Okay, this microtubule, its only job is to transmit bubbles of neurotransmitters from one end of the axon to the other. What in the hell does it have to do with firing the neuron? Meanwhile, you got a lightning bolt going down this neuron. That is the neuron firing, right? And all it does is it's a 0 or a 1. It turns something on or it turns it off. One or the other. It's either going to fire or it's not going to fire. Okay.
So
a little more
are you
complicated than that.
okay? At least you just said it's a little more complicated than that. I was going to ask you whether you thought neurons are literally logic gates.
Well, so let me ask a question about this. So, when you say that it's constantly deconstructing itself and reconstructing itself, is that to say that the videos and simulations we've seen that microtubules just have the appearance of moving, that actually what's happening is they're deconstructing and reconstructing further down the...
No, there actually is something moving on them. So,
all right.
let me see if I can take a look at maybe.
So I need to ask you something, Speed. Like, what would convince you otherwise?
What would convince me otherwise?
Yes.
A hypothesis that made sense. So, something that would go from cognition to these little quantum effects that they're talking about.
No. Okay. Let's assume the hypothesis is right. Right? The hypothesis is right, and you could say it's bullshit. Right? What would convince? Like, what evidence would they need to find? They'd be like, oh shit, they were right. Based on the hypothesis.
Okay, they need more than evidence. First of all, they need a mechanism, and they don't have that. They have no mechanism. That is the problem. Oh, let me show you a microtubule.
Honestly, why is it sounding like you're arguing against younger creationism when you say that? You need a mechanism, but they don't have a mechanism. That reminded me of that.
I mean,
God did it. Yeah, God did it, but where's the mechanism?
All they seem to have is, there's these quantum fields, and somehow we think that they might gather up across many neurons and create something woo-like that we call consciousness. When people talk about consciousness, okay, make no mistake, they're fucking making a religious statement. When you say, consciousness, and I have this thing called consciousness, you're doing the same thing as saying there is a God. Okay, it's that goddamn ridiculous.
What are you even saying right now?
I'm saying that people that believe in consciousness as some sort of strange, like, big thing, like some big phenomena in the world, are religious nutcakes.
Okay, well then I'm a religious nutcake. What the fuck?
I know all of you are.
So
most of you are.
This is so weird, Speed. Right. What the fuck?
Well, that's why I started a YouTube channel to fucking straighten you guys out. Jesus Christ. Somebody's got it. Here's the microtubule.
I gotta ask Scott. Like, so I see you put posts in the side chat, but I'm like confused by the middle one.
Middle post in the side chat.
In the private chat, yeah.
I think AJ is for the defense for Manson.
It has someone's name, and then a date.
That's that debate between Leo Filius and Finding Truth.
When is that?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
2 p.m.
No.
Why does it have that name there, though?
Because that's the channel it's on.
No. Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah, never mind. Yeah. Okay. I was confused.
What is this? This is a crappy picture.
Speed, I love you, but sometimes you just make me face plant or palm.
Well, if I do, then
that's why you're here, is to challenge him.
Yeah, I try to, but I don't. Tell me how you get the cognition from some supposed quantum effect, which you haven't even found in a microtubule.
Well,
we're looking at them.
Okay, let me say something really quick. Unfortunately, I don't have the same level of knowledge as you yet. Moving on.
Okay. Yeah, so you don't know what you're talking about. I do, so I'm right. You're wrong. It's settled. Perfect. Thank you.
What the fuck, man?
Okay, so this is a microtubule, It's basically, it's a crystal structure. It packs in this perfect structure, right? So where's the information in this structure if those proteins are all repeated over and over again, alpha and beta tubulin? There's two different proteins. They pack one, and they're claiming that there's some sort of quantum wave thing going on in here that somehow affects. The problem is resolution. These quantum effects are very, very small. Like, we're talking about maybe 20 orders of magnitude smaller than what you need to fire a neuron. Okay, meanwhile, there's a fucking lightning bolt shooting alongside this thing. I mean, like, really a lot of voltage, that fires your neuron. How is that quantum effect going to have any effect on that? All the sodium and potassium, the sodium and potassium ions that are fluxing into that neuron to create that lightning bolt along the neuron. Basically, there's a whole lot of it's like a battery, like your car battery, right? It's electrochemical effect. Okay, that is at a very, very different level, and it's a high voltage, and 0.5 volts, but it shoots down that neuron, and I don't understand how one little protein here can have something in it called consciousness. And that's all they've done is they've taken the idea of consciousness, woo consciousness, this idea that, consciousness, we can't explain it, so it must be quantum. That's all they're doing. And I am so embarrassed for Roger Penrose.
I mean, but yeah, they've done that. I mean, so basically you're just saying you disagree with their hypothesis then.
But it's not a hypothesis, John. They haven't made the connection from this microtubule to cognition. They haven't offered any. They haven't shown us what the structure is, something that we could actually test. That's all they're saying is, this is really quantum-like, and so and consciousness is really hard to explain. So we put these two unexplainable things together, and that explains it. It doesn't explain anything. They don't have a hypothesis. It's really bad. It's really bad. And there's another quantum effect that happens at the synapse, where the neurotransmitters come out. The thing that makes a neurotransmitter the thing that pinches off a piece of the membrane for the neurotransmitter to get out of the cell, basically, there's a calcium ion that goes through a very, very narrow tube, and there's definitely quantum effects when the calcium ion goes through there. And that's something else that they'll point to and say, look, there's quantum effects there, so obviously that has something to do with it. But the problem with that is it's a matter of scale. The neurotransmitter that's being popped out, we're looking at like 300,000 molecules of neurotransmitter, right? And they're trying to relate it to this little tiny effect. And how does that map to information? Number one, how would the memories get written? How would they get read? So we have no mechanism for reading and writing the memories into this quantum world that they're talking about. Well, they don't have a hypothesis.
Okay, but how does, I forget what it's called, but when two particles seemingly have a connection over a great distance?
Quantum entanglement.
So that, we don't know how that happens. I mean, maybe there could be things that, the quantum state is capable of that we just can't explain now.
Well, so you did it. You're doing the same thing. You're saying, there's this really strange stuff going on.
Well, right, but what I'm saying is, they're at they just started the race. They're trying to make connections, and I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, because much like Midnight said, you know more about this shit than I do, but you kind of sound like somebody back at the beginning of the 20th century, talking to the Wright brothers and saying, dude, you're crazy. No, you're not going to make a machine fly. Like,
Okay,
I mean,
yeah, but the Wright brothers had wings. They were building wings. They had a plan. These guys don't have a plan.
Yeah, but speed. You're
They
not.
have no plan.
I don't think you're getting John's point here. Even though the Wright brothers had a plan, they had a wing, they were still literally doubted by everybody. They were done even by the professionals who tried and tried and tried and got nothing done.
Yep.
Meanwhile, you got these two schmucks. These two schmucks. Like bicycle salesmen who sat down and just focused. Just focused on learning the material and managed to do it. History remembers them and forgets everyone else.
Yeah, I get the point. Here's a better analogy for you. Okay, suppose there's a guy, and you bury him in a bunch of rocks, and you leave him there in the hot desert for 3 days, and he rises from the dead. And you might say that's bullshit, but just because all you guys are saying that's bullshit, I mean, look at the Wright brothers.
Oh my fucking God, Speed!
You're doing
No,
the
that's
same
a bad
thing.
That's
You
a bad
can't make
analogy. You're
No, it isn't. I'm
you're
telling
mixing up. You're mixing up younger creationism with what we're talking about.
I'm mixing up young Earth creationism with this quantum wool bullshit. It's the same shit. It's the same crap.
It is literally not.
It is okay. So tell me how it works. How do we get information from this quantum effects and microtubules to cognition?
I don't fucking know right now. Okay.
Okay. Now, do they know? Have you read their stuff? Because they don't know either.
Okay. Speed. You're so. Help me out here. Who's he sounding like?
I don't know.
Sounding like a skeptic?
I mean, skepticism is fine, but have these people actually come out and said, this is definitively the answer?
No, it's not. No, they didn't, because I read the article I sent him.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
have you listened to Hammerhead's YouTube videos? He's definitely promoting this shit. He's written books. He's had appearances. I mean, he's going for it. Yeah, they're serious. And Pedro's, I don't think he's quite as serious, but he's associated with it. These are all pictures of microtubules forming.
I honestly don't get how you can deny quantum effects when that's literally all that happens around you, around everybody.
Yeah, quantum effects are responsible for all of chemistry, right? And we know how that works.
So how in the hell? So how couldn't? You know what?
How do you get from there to consciousness?
I don't fucking know. I'm not God. I'm gonna mute now because I'm getting pissed.
Okay.
Why are you getting pissed? Oh, that doesn't make any sense.
Because I'm passionate about this, John. Yet, I don't have the background
Why?
knowledge.
Why would you believe in this hypothesis if you don't?
I don't believe it. I'm just passionate about it. I'm passionate about learning.
Why would you think it's something we should even consider? I don't.
Well, see, that's where I get off the bus, where you're saying it shouldn't even be considered.
Well, consider,
yeah.
As soon as they come up with a connection, as soon as they come up with a mechanism, we're going to consider the hell out of it. But they got to show us something. They got to get from these. They're talking about quantum effects inside of these little tiny tubules here, in between all these little beads that you see that go into that tube, right? And yet this thing is being created at one side and deconstructed at the other side continually. How does the information get read and written, and how does it end up firing a synapse?
What the fuck does that mean?
So okay, the theory of cognition is that it's all about firing neurons across synapses, right?
No, I'm sorry. I wasn't asking you that. I didn't even realize I spoke out loud. I was commenting on what Andrew just put in, because I have no idea what GR versus QM is.
General relativity versus quantum mechanics.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Andrew, you and your physics.
Well, he's
I like
pretty good.
He's
pretty good at biology, so he's a well-rounded man of science.
He is. Yeah.
If we were going to go on a 3-hour tour, I would want him there to be our professor.
Huh. Oh, I don't know.
And then midnight. If we go on that 3-hour tour, will you be our Gilligan?
Or a ginger.
Wait. Our what?
Will you be our Gilligan?
Isn't Gilligan a clown?
He'd make a better ginger.
We're
What do you
talking
think?
about Gilligan's Island.
Yeah,
Midnight.
no. I know you're talking about Gilligan's Island, but isn't Gilligan a clown?
Well, no, he was the first mate.
No, he's just a lovable screw up.
Hey, does anybody remember Maynard?
Oh, I see. I'm a
Does
lovable
anybody-
screw up.
Does anybody remember Maynard?
Maynard saves.
No, Maynard.
Oh, Maynard from what was
It was
his name?
Gil- it was
Yeah.
Dobie
He played a-
Dobie Gillis.
Yeah, Dobie
Yeah.
Gillis.
Yeah,
Maynard,
okay.
I've never really watched it, but I know the character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta be really old to remember that.
I'm never gonna not think that whenever Maynard comes into the chat.
Anyway, I'm at the piss midnight hour. My day, my work is done here.
So did you hear that? I don't remember who it was, but some company is talking about, which idiot that I am, I just don't think it sounds like a good idea. They're talking about trying to get energy for our use here on the planet from the magnetosphere.
I don't know. Sounds good to me.
I mean, to me, I don't think they should fuck with it. Like, that magnetosphere is pretty fucking important, man.
Yeah. Well, what did that one Republican want to do? He wanted the forestry division or something to change the orbit of the moon to solve the problem.
Oh yeah, what dumb fuck was that? He said that.
Like, and there's we could look into that, sir. It's like, so I was in my backyard and I walked out there and sat down in a chair, and all of a sudden I had cobwebs all over me, and it was very upsetting. And then this little critter crawled across my shirt. So I froze him.
Man, don't go to Speed's house. He'll freeze you.
You know, it kind of looks like a squid.
It's a spider. It's a spidey.
Oh, and then like, can you put your finger there for scale?
Ooh. Let's see. Let me try to move my finger. Yeah. Okay. I screwed everything up. It's really tiny. It's probably the size of a apple seed, maybe less, about half the size of an apple seed.
Okay, so you're so scared of spiders you kill even little spiders like that?
So you're not the brave slayer of giant arachnids?
No, I've been dying to get a spider under my microscope because they're a little harder to catch than those flying insects that I get all the time. Most of what I catch are flying insects. So this time I got a nice little spider.
Like, do you wait till nighttime and then run out into the backyard and run in circles with your mouth open to catch the flying insects?
Well, I could do that, but actually I went to Menards and got a big bunch of plastic clear bags, and I put them in a 55-gallon garbage can, which is horizontal, and in the back of that I have a light, and so I just turn that on at night, and then I go up there and close up the bag, let the air out of it, and put it in the freezer. In the morning I shake it into a pan. And bugs hate me. I should probably shave my mustache a little differently when it comes to bugs.
Well, you said you've been getting less and less bugs. Maybe they just found out.
They killed them all.
Maybe they found out how to avoid your trap.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
That was another cool article. Oh, sorry. What was that?
I just said they just steer clear.
Well, so there was a cool article on Google. It was there yesterday. I didn't take a look at it today, but they're talking about how I think collectively they're called parrots, but it includes like the cockatoos and and macaws and all that, but they now have learned how to open garbage cans. And they're going around and teaching their fellow birds how to do it.
You want to hear something? You want to hear something else? More fucked up. Ravens actually know the concept of zero. They understand the concept of zero. Wait, was it ravens? Or hold on, I need to.
Are you sure they weren't saying that, like, that child actress Raven knows the concept of zero?
No, John. That's funny.
Okay.
Where is it?
I wonder how they.
Oh, sorry, crows. My bad, crows.
I wonder how they ran the experiment to be able to show that.
Well, you're in luck. I have an article I could send you. Let me get it.
I'll just put it in private chat.
Yep.
Yeah.
If speed, if speed would care to, share it.
Busy. Well,
All right. Well, John, if you're interested in reading it, there it is.
wait a minute. Oh, it's in private chat. What is it?
Yes. Crows. Oh my fucking god! You let somebody in. Crows understand the concept of zero.
There are worse people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, because we were talking about, what was that, the Helter Skelter dude earlier?
There's worse people. I must have missed part of that. What's going on?
Well, no, we had brought up, what's his name?
Charles
Midnight?
Manson.
Yeah, Charles. Yeah, he said there's worse people, and you're right. There's like Charles Manson and people like that.
What is that fallacy called? Tue quo quo.
Tuco
Quay. Yeah, of course you'd know it.
Yeah.
So,
I think
Immutable, how you doing, bitch?
Doing pretty good, Fag. How about you?
Oh no, so now you're going to be homophobic. Okay.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I'm here. He can use it.
You
No.
call me gay. I call you a fag. I mean,
I didn't call you gay. I said how are you doing, bitch?
Yeah, bitch.
If we're
is
gonna-
gay.
if we're gonna be, well, can be, but okay.
No,
Been a while since I've been over here.
Yeah.
How have things been?
Much to my delight anyway. I don't want to speak for anybody else.
Tell me how you really feel, John.
I just think that you're a pussy who goes and talks about people in streams. And
I've aired the same grievances here.
and makes up shit that like is total fucking lies.
What did I make up exactly?
Hey, John and Immutable, I had hoped not to cover this here. In fact, I don't want to. So
yeah, just leave it. Yeah.
If you want to cover this off air, we can. I'm just curious.
Yeah,
I
you
have
do
no
it
interest in talking to you.
I mean, if you wanna go on my channel, fuck it. I wouldn't mind streaming you guys going at it.
Ooh.
No, I don't want to go at it. He knows what he did. He just doesn't care.
I expressed disinterest in how you interrupt
Okay,
conversation.
Speed said he doesn't want to talk about it. Leave it alone.
I'm pretty serious. I'm real serial.
You're cereal.
I may disagree with him on a lot of some things, but when he says he doesn't want to talk about it, then there you go. I
What's the
offered-
topic as of
I offered-
recently?
Hold on, I offered my channel. Take it or leave it.
I'm happy to.
Okay, this is 90 power, so you can imagine that's 90 times magnified. It's a pretty small bug.
Yeah, damn, that looks nice.
Let's see. I'll put a needle by him if I can.
Are you turned on by that bug, Midnight?
I'm sorry, but I'm not Brain Bug. He's the one who gets turned on by bug.
Where
He
is
said
a
it
brain bug when you need one?
You said it looks nice.
Yeah, it looks nice because it looks nice. I didn't say it looks sexy. It looks interesting. Is that a better word for you, John?
I don't know.
Like Jesus.
That's a needle. I guess it ain't that small a bug, but it's a pretty small bug. And then I have other things. I'm hoping you guys will just fill in space because I'm a little depressed tonight, so I'm really. Hold on.
When not even the bugs are cheering you up.
The bugs are scary.
Hey, yeah, as you mentioned before we started, boomer o'clock and all that. So I'm going to leave because I don't like to be in streams with members of the smoky crowd. So
Okay.
Members of the smoky crowd. Okay. Well, take care, John.
It is boomer
see
o'clock.
you, bitch. Suck a bag of dicks.
All right. Take care.
Jesus Christ.
We feel a love around here.
I know. I mean,
I
I'm not
offered
the
my
only-
Yeah, I offered my channel, but okay, whatever.
The ironic part is like I'm not the only person that goes to smoky
Okay,
channel,
shut the fuck
so-
up and stop bringing it up. Okay, nobody gives a shit.
Yep, I don't
Just
even know who
pointing
you
it
are.
out. Well, okay.
I have a cat in front of my screen right now. Anyway, there's Pretty Moth.
There's a pretty moth.
Jesus Christ.
Pretty Moth.
5-year-olds.
What the? Getting old sucks because I actually feel a little bit bad about killing these bugs. You know?
Yeah,
I mean,
really.
What the hell? They're bugs
mean-
for Christ's sake.
They have like very short lives, so
Well, yeah, they usually die that night. You know?
I mean, immutable. That's like saying it's okay to kill a dog because it's got a short lifespan. What the fuck? I mean, I know people actually give a shit about dogs rather than bugs, but no, that's not a good argument. Sorry.
I
I'm
think
just saying it's a fucking bug.
Just saying, it's a fucking. Never mind. It's just not a good argument.
that bug is somebody's daughter.
It is.
Jesus Christ. I wouldn't go that far. Well, I mean, technically you're right.
So,
Technically you're
so,
right.
so you murdered somebody's daughter. Way to go, Speed.
Yep, way to go. Yeah, tit for tat.
Speaking of cats at zoos, I see an article here that says unvaccinated snow leopard at San Diego Zoo catches COVID-19.
Ooh, what?
So we have not been talking about the pandemic against big zoo cats.
And he's unvaccinated. Why was it? Was he Republican?
Must be. Yeah, he's got a MAGA hat on. It's an NBC News article. I hate
Trolls
that
understand the
cats
concept
are
of
getting our
zero.
diseases, but we used to get diseases from animals all the time because people would, like in the winter, bring them into their house.
God, what is it with these web pages that want to put something on the right, like an ad? I guess they're trying to sell me. I'm never going to buy what they're trying to sell. What is this Ring Summer? What's Ring Alarm? Go fuck yourself.
Oh yeah, ring. Now they want to. What are they wanting to do? What are they wanting to monitor? That they're wanting to add something to their, I guess, drones that would just fly around and monitor you, or something. It was just kind of creepy when I heard about it.
Well, I mean, Scott, everything is creepy.
Yeah, life is creepy.
Everything is awesome. I don't know. New study finds that crows are so intelligent they understand the concept of zero. By the way, Speed, can I read it? I just need you to zoom in because I can't see shit.
Says that crows have certain microtubule proteins that light up when
Okay, fuck you, Speed. Okay, just fuck you. I know that's not what it says. All right. Oh, okay. Never mind. Like you said near micro. But I'm gonna read. Crows are incredibly smart. Researchers have already discovered that these sleek, dark birds possess primary or secondary consciousness, the ability possessed by humans and some primates to merge memories, to think in terms of past and present. A recent paper published in the Journal of Neuroscience expands the wealth of knowledge on these clever creatures. In the study, researchers discovered that crows can comprehend the concept of zero. Zero is actually a rather recent mathematical invention. Many ancient number systems did not include a number conceptually equivalent to our modern-day zero. This fact makes the crows' newly discovered ability all the more impressive. Going into their experiment, the researchers at the University of Tübingen in Germany knew that crows have certain neurons which light up when they see certain quantities displayed. One dot fires a certain neuron to another, three another, and four yet another. It was therefore already known that crows could distinguish these quantities from one another. To test whether crows could comprehend zero as a numerical value, the researchers showed crows two displays of dots, each display containing between 0 and 4. The crows were trained to indicate if the two displays showed the same value. While they did this, researchers monitored their brain activity. When the crows saw 0 dots, their brains fired a new neuron recognizing this new quantity, quote unquote. Sometimes the birds made mistakes, identifying two displays as portraying the same quantity. Where 0 was concerned, the birds more often confused it for displays with 1 dot than those with 2 or more. Co-author Andreas Nader told, okay, I fucking love science is substantive enough, but moving on. This effect would only be expected if crows can understand the empty set as the smallest numerical value on the number line, as the birds lack a neocortex like those that humans and apes have. These counting crows inspire new questions
Copyright
for
strike.
researchers. What?
Copyright strike
Did you literally get a copyright strike?
for saying Counting Crows. It's the name of a band.
Did you play a song from that band?
No, Midnight just said their name.
So the YouTube algorithm is really cracking down, is it?
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Yeah. Quote unquote, counting crows inspire new questions for researchers pursuing answers on the evolution of avian intelligence. Crows are super intelligent. A new study discovered they can understand the concept of zero. Like, you want to, scroll down?
Oh, there's more.
Yeah.
Wait, is there?
Well, go down. I don't know.
No, there's no more. It's just become a member. What the fuck? Vintage inspired bird scarf. What does Google think I want one of those?
I don't know, but
okay, how about a Frito Kahlo action figure? What the fuck? What?
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, well, okay. You can stop sharing. You can stop sharing. That was an interesting article, but yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out why Google thinks I should buy these things.
Well, first, there's a bunch of cats in that one picture, so maybe it's with the cats as well as the birds. We do have a person who's just did a fine job of reading to us about ravens. So I'm thinking maybe the algorithm's listening in a little too well.
Could be.
So I got a question. What's the concept of zero exactly?
That could be a very
question.
complicated question based upon how far you want to go.
Okay, Cerberus.
Huh?
Cerberus. I can answer that question.
Okay.
Are you going to?
I think
I did. I just answered
If
it.
you have your answer.
And I think under that definition, basically every animal can understand the concept of zero.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's what I was getting to.
I get it.
That's what-
I get it.
I'm with you, Cerberus.
Yeah, congratulations. You found out animals could understand something isn't there. Good job.
Okay, you know what? I got that. Wow.
Okay, I already just ripped his heart out. I ripped Midnight's heart out a little while ago. Cerberus, be careful. Tread softly.
Hey,
He's
fuck
only
you,
got one
buddy.
heart to
I'm not that sensitive.
Not that fond of crows.
That's not what I said.
Okay.
Look, it's not Midnight's fault. It's scientists' fault for wasting time. If you could show animals could understand negative things, like negative numbers, that I would find that interesting.
Well, it's interesting that they found one neuron for each number. That's interesting. That's really compact and well done. Well done.
I don't know. I mean, I think being able to understand 0 is a pretty decent accomplishment. 0 is a rather special number.
So in mathematics, where did it come up? Was it the Middle East way back?
0?
It came from India. 0 came from India.
I'm not exactly sure. It was controversial for a while, though, including 0 as a number.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there was just a blank space in their clay.
The concept of 0 predates the number by a lot, though.
What do you mean, the number?
We can argue whether it's a number or not. The circular thing that we use in numbers. How about that?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
by most definitions, 0 qualifies as a number.
Whatever. The concept was around long before the number.
Yeah.
Oh God, I didn't watch it, but wow, let's see.
Oh no.
Yeah, wow. Well is right.
Oh, they're interviewing what's her face?
No, the other way around. I think he uploaded it on his site.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
reviewing
really?
it today. S.J. Thomason was interviewing Standing for Truth.
It's just he was talking about how what his evidence is for Christianity and young Earth and things like that, and there were a couple things in here. I listened to about 3 minutes of it, I think, altogether, and that was hard. That was very hard. Okay, sound check. Somebody say something.
Hello.
Oh,
Yeah.
There we go.
oh, wow! You guys are inside my head now. Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Strange feeling.
It is strange. Did I share the sound? Let's see.
And so then the atheist would probably say, yes, okay, so I'll grant you the cosmos. I'll grant you that argument. So how do you get to Jesus?
Great question. I think there's a variety of different ways to approach that, especially if they were to concede the fact that the evidence is there for design, and the evidence that suggests time, space, and matter had a beginning would mean that the God has to be personal. So why?
Okay, pause.
Why personal?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I was curious how he made that leap.
Yeah, even to the design from the universe. How the hell did he? I don't know.
They were running
I
with the
could-
assumption on that one.
I could
As a
concede the
setup.
design thing. I mean, certain things regarding like fundamental constants appear to be
Yeah.
fine-tuned at the very least.
How do I tell the difference between Bill, the programmer that maintains our simulation, and Yahweh?
Well, you can't. I mean,
That's
that's the whole solipsism thing.
He says
Confession, and she's in there for a really, really
she has
long
sex.
time. And my other friend knew the whole story, and so she told me, she said, Kathy's not going to get out anytime soon.
Young girl who had sex went for a confession. That's what that was about.
Okay.
Answering, and you as well, probably. The first couple things that come to mind probably would be because I had Dr. Frank Turek on my channel
Oh,
last week, and he's always been, as you pointed out, he's always been. Why is there something rather than nothing? I think is a great question to ask the materialist, because you'll find, SJ, that most naturalists even have to admit today that the universe did indeed have a beginning.
That true?
Yeah, sure.
No,
I can give it to them.
Not me.
Yeah,
I think
me.
it depends. I think it depends on how well read they are, right? I
Well-
mean, I think almost everyone can say that the universe, as we know it currently, had a beginning, but we know that just because expansion started at a certain point doesn't mean that a singularity didn't exist basically for eternity going backwards.
Or something else, or
Yeah,
something
or
else.
all sorts of things. Expansion started a finite amount of time ago.
like I said last night on Dessel's stream, basically we're talking about what came before the beginning of space and time, and we're talking about what is outside of space and time. And right away, as soon as you put it that way, you're already wrong. You're already not thinking, and our intuition is not capable. We keep trying to intuit it as the universe is contained in something. But when space-time itself is the thing we're talking about that is contained in something, then the outside of that cannot itself be space-time. It's something else. And then we want to say, oh, it's something much bigger. But even that's wrong, because bigger is a concept from space-time. So our intuition is not capable of dealing with these subjects. And you most certainly cannot argue for God when we can't even wrap our minds around the thing that we have to try to understand. We don't even know what the fucking question is. Right?
Well, would you say it's possible to even conceive of objects that exist like without needing notions of space and time?
In a way, yeah. It's possible that if you have two particles that are separated by 1 centimeter, right? Okay.
Well, separated in what?
Just separated. We measure one particle. We can measure from that particle to another particle, and it's 1 centimeter, right?
Yeah.
So that's our measure. But suppose it turns out that the space between them, or that distance, is actually a property of the particles themselves, or the relationship of those two particles, and there's really no such thing as space and time at all. It's something else entirely. So all the particles are in an infinitely small, well, not even that. Okay, just all the particles do not have spatial location or temporal location. The space and time, or the location, is built into the relationship of the two particles. That is a metaphysical proposition. Can you imagine a world like that? Like, how would you do the mathematics for a world like that? You could do the mathematics.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, when you say, for instance, like, say 2 electrons or 2 particles are separated by 3 centimeters or something like that, if all electrons have that property, why invoke the notion of, like, why invoke the whole 3 centimeters thing in that case? Because when I refer to any 2 electrons, or any number of electrons for that case, they're always going to have that property.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what we would do away with. We would do away with that idea of measurement between things, because our ruler itself is simply another collection of particles that all have relationships to all the other particles, and the relationship defines where they are. But there's no concept of space-time at all left. We simply have some sort of we'd represent it with a mathematical object, and it would have properties, and we have another mathematical object, and then there's a relationship that's represented with a third mathematical object, and that is what tells us how far they are apart.
See, I like this, because Planck length never made sense to me.
Really? I mean, it's the smallest possible distance that makes sense on, like, for particles to interact.
Do we want to listen any more to this guy, or should I take him down? I'm kind of sad.
If you want to take him down, take him down.
I could take him down. I could take him down temporarily. I'll throw him back up. I am not alive tonight, really. I'm kind of dead. Stayed up till 5 a.m. and then got up at 7.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, it's not a good idea. Don't do that.
Why did you get so little sleep?
Well, I was on Dessel's stream. I was drinking coffee. I was getting wound up. Then I had to go watch TV for 4 fucking hours before I could go to sleep. Yeah.
Goddamn TV.
I didn't even know what I watched. I think I watched a little bit of Mr. In Between. I watched some really crappy supernatural shows, I think. I don't know what I was watching. Oh, and then I watched a little bit of Sal Cordova. Him and Dork. Well, he's been disrupting his church and leading a gang against his church. And now he's backpedaling like crazy because they tried to get these people unelected. And now he might get thrown out of his church, or he's speculating that he might get thrown out of his church.
Yikes.
He doesn't know.
That can't be good.
Yeah, and he's no, he picked up 200 subs from that church.
Wow.
Going into that, yeah. Yep. So I'm thinking of joining a church and leading a posse against the church and getting everybody pissed off and having them subscribe to my channel. What do you think?
Sounds like an idea.
Hey, speaking of Sal, he was on with Dapper Dino earlier today, talking about thermodynamics. Did anybody catch that?
No.
No.
Oh no, that was him?
I did.
Oh,
I
He's
did.
talking about thermodynamics. God, that's like one of the most
So how did that go?
interesting.
Sal
topics.
doesn't like that argument.
What argument?
The argument that the religious use for thermodynamics. I think Sal's not with it. So it's a bad argument.
Yep. That's what he said. Yep.
So you said that on Dapper Dino's channel?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. He stressed that pretty heavily.
Good.
It's good to see at the very least that Sal will kind of like dispel certain arguments that he views as bad or kind of not.
Yeah, I think the guy really believes in his shit. You could say that for him. He's not making this stuff up. But most of what he believes in is creationism in the Bible, and that is fundamental to his entire mindset. And then he spins off into biology, and everything he sees, he interprets only through this very narrow little lens. But he's definitely taken with the idea. He really believes this shit.
What's weird is like he wasn't always a yuck, so.
Well,
I'm not
wait
sure
a minute.
why
Now.
it's
Wait. Okay,
Yeah.
one of the things that he said is that when he was a teenager, they started teaching him evolution, and he was pushing back even in high school.
Yeah.
And then he went to college, and then he forms a creationist society in college.
Yeah. He's been a
It's
yuck
like-
for a long time.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was.
Oh, and
okay.
do you remember the crisis of faith that he had, where he almost became agnostic?
Yeah.
Yeah. For 3 days.
3
That was
days.
3
He said,
days.
he
Yeah.
said it out loud, right?
Yeah.
And he was at a Bible study the whole time.
Yeah.
So like,
Boy, that says something. If a Bible study almost causes you to become an agnostic, gee whiz.
Yeah.
No, he went to the Bible
that's
study to cure his agnosticism.
Oh, I thought you meant like he
Right.
he became an agnostic by being in Bible study. And I'm like, wow,
Not
geez, that's
like
knock.
if I'm having a crisis of faith where I no longer believe in acupuncture, so I go to my acupuncturist to
reassure you that acupuncture does work.
yeah. It's like, okay, if you walk in the door, you pretty much bought into it already, right?
Yeah, basically.
I mean, having a mindset like that is really hard to comprehend, isn't it? Like
It is.
it is. It really is. And I agree, Speed. I think he does believe in, the studies that he does to prove his creationist, but how he gets there, though, that baffles me. But
What the Andrew and Dessel are
Apparently
They're
about to
smoking.
like form some kind of pact or whatever.
they're smoking some stuff, I think.
Yeah, apparently.
That Wuju weed. Now the other thing is, there's a segment last night just before Danny came in where Maddox and Veckel are trying to be not racist and ending up really saying some really racist shit. And Maddox made the claim that basically abortion is a plot to get rid of minorities, and that most women or most abortions
I'm sorry,
are by
what?
black people. Yeah. Go listen. It's fun.
I actually listened to that, and
that's interesting to say
I
the
missed
least.
that. Somehow I was listening to that stream that you're talking about. Somehow I missed that. I didn't hear him say that.
Oh,
So-
right before Danny came, and Danny was kind of like wiggling around in his seat while they were being, just all racist about. They were talking about welfareanism or something, and then Veckel said that somebody offered him $100 to vote for Obama, I think it was, or no, to vote for Biden, right? And so Veckel is kind of implying that the Democratic Party had $500 million and they went out and bought, 5 million votes by going around to the polls and offering people $100 to vote a certain way. But how would you know which way they voted?
Yeah, you wouldn't.
I wonder if Feckel, like, if it's crossed Feckel's mind that the person was doing this, like, to just fuck with him. Like, especially if this was somebody close to him.
Okay, here's what I think really happened. He made that story up.
Could be. I mean,
who's going to offer you $100 to vote for a certain way, right?
Also, who like Beckel would say, "Nah, dog, don't give me the $100."
He did.
I would do it to an extremely poor friend of mine especially if I knew they were like devoutly conservative or something like that, just to see what they respond with.
Yeah. If you got a lot of money, I could see, screwing around with somebody at a poll and doing it. Maybe it happened, but I think he made it up.
No, don't do it at poll. You get arrested. But I mean, why wouldn't Veckel just take the $100 and vote for Trump anyway?
Well, that's what Maddox said he should have done, but I guess he said he did. He turned it down. It's like, yeah, he could have voted for anybody he wanted. It's like, but I mean, does that sound like a really good plan for the for the conspiracy guys to pull off? To around offering people, oh my God, it's just so
yeah, because the type of people that would take bribes to vote a certain way totally seem like the trustworthy type.
Right.
I mean, the thing is too, imagine if that were true. It's like, okay, how are you gonna find this money trail? You're talking about $100 given to 500 or 50 million, 5 million people to vote a particular way, and how are you going to track this $100 million given that people have more than likely have already spent it?
That could be an insane bust plan. The government could counterfeit $100 bills.
It could,
and test to see how susceptible people are to being bribed.
Right.
I mean,
I find out if it really influences the election.
That's something I'd expect to see on Jackass, not like not like government playing, mind games with its populace. Although I wouldn't put it back.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't do it, but I'm saying you could do it.
Okay, did you listen to the part where Maddox said that? Okay, in 1967, there were 7.1% of Americans were black. And then in 2010, only 12.1% were. So because it only increased 5%, he insists that it's because of the abortion conspiracy, that the abortion was meant to keep the population. But I think what he's leaving out there is that, white people multiplied too, and it's a percentage.
So wait. Is he arguing that more people? Okay.
So if
he's trying to argue that more people getting abortion leads to more black people?
Less black people. He's saying less black people. He said the percentage should have been higher. I don't know. Maybe I got it wrong. Oh, there was something else I got wrong. Remember the reductionism and connotation?
Yeah.
I'm going to play it on the weather report. But if you play back real slow, he says reductionism and condensation. So he is saying condensation, but he says it like condensation, and he insists that it was because his connection glitched. But if your connection glitched, it doesn't cut out a piece of time and condense two words together. I don't think.
Yeah,
I think it. Yeah. So
wait, he doesn't understand that if the percentage increased, that means they're having more babies than everyone else.
Right. Yeah. He didn't get that.
You're asking.
Another thing that affects the numbers is we've also had a large increase in the number of Hispanics, or or Latinos, or whatever the term is geopolitically in America. So that affects the relative percentages and stuff.
Yeah. And remember, our jobs are being taken as Americans. I wonder why.
Okay, U.S. abortion by race: 39% white, 28% black, 25% Hispanic, 6% Asian, 3% other. So,
okay, interesting.
62% of people that have abortions are religiously affiliated. 75% are poor or low income. 59% already have a child. 60% are in their 20s. Only 12% are teens, of which 4% are minors. So there you go. That's the latest stats on that. So I think he said like 60% or something like that. He was way off. But and maybe I got that wrong too. But anyway, the thing about reductionism and condensation, it's not reductionism, it's reduction. And my point was that he doesn't know anything about biochemistry, and that's fair. I mean, except that he insists on saying that he does. Like he's coming back at me because I've only studied evolution for 3 years, right? And he's saying, "Oh yeah, Speed admitted he only studied it for 3 years," and it's like, okay, John's only studied it since last January, or not this January, but the January before when he started his YouTube channel. I know fucking well he doesn't know anything because he wouldn't use words. Do you think anybody would say reductionism immutable?
Not if they're talking about chemistry. I mean that and like reduction reactions.
And would they call it?
Well, that and condensation reactions aren't the opposite of reduction reactions. Oxidation reactions are the opposite of reduction reactions.
I think he said reduction because he was trying to think of condensation. Maybe he was trying to, think about condensation. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. John's probably organic chemist, and it's very obvious that he's failing pretty hard.
That he failed, yeah.
I would defend them on the racism thing. If you subscribe to systematic racism, abortion does disproportionately affect black people.
Well, it looks, 28%. Well, I don't know how many percent are black in the U.S.
I mean, it wouldn't have anything to do with like the population growth, right? It's just the fact that they're having more abortions.
Well, are they? There's 28% are black, 39% are white. So that would be, so it's probably disproportionate. But I mean, do you really think that that's affecting the population of black people? And do you really think that that was the reason why they made abortion illegal to get rid of black people? Do you really think that was Roe v. Wade?
No. I don't even think they hold to that standard of racism.
Okay, that's what he's claiming. I believe that's what he's claiming. Of course, he's going to do a video now or a meme, and I got it all wrong. So we're going to have to download that and see what he did say. But not tonight. I don't have the energy tonight. But we'll cover it on the weather report. We'll definitely cover that shit on the weather report because I was listening to it and it was like, you guys are trying not to be racist, but you really fucking are. It was kind of nasty. Danny didn't stick around long, I noticed. He didn't stick around long. He was on vacation, I guess. Let me see here. Let's take a look at this video. What? John, come on.
I haven't.
I'm online, John.
John's calling? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I haven't seen Danny since he freaked out at me over something that I didn't say.
Well, he went on vacation or something to, I don't know, he went to Texas or some fucking thing. I don't know where he went. Oh, let's see. Where was this stream? Was that response to Brett Keene's Bunkum and old, whatever? Was that the one? David?
I think so, yes.
Oh, it wasn't Veckel. It was, who was that guy?
Yeah.
No, that was Veckel.
Wasn't that Veckel? Yeah.
Well, wait a minute now. When the hell was this? This is July 21st. It's the 24th. This was last night. So, did they take the stream down? You might have taken it down.
No, I don't think so. It should be there.
6 days ago, 2 days ago.
Lash extensions mascara creates show-stopping lashes that won't pump, flake, or smudge.
Oh, I'm on the wrong goddamn channel. So the old Praise channel became Presbyterian Preaching.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah. Now, did he buy that back? He said something about that. He didn't take it back. I think he did.
He gave Presbyterian Preaching, the smaller channel, to whoever that guy is. So
Right, but did I hear him say that he took it back or something?
Oh, today he changed his mind already.
I don't know. I
would not.
thought so. I'm not sure
I
about
wouldn't
that.
doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all.
But I thought he gave him the big channel, the 11,000 subscribers
No.
or whatever it has. No?
Yesterday he said that he was keeping the 11,000 one. So
All right, I'm confused. I knew he sold it to him or whatever the deal was, but then
Yeah.
I could have sworn I heard him say it that he took it back or something, but I'm not sure.
yeah, he might have changed his mind like 20 minutes later. You don't praise. He changes his mind. You got to hand it to him. The man is willing to change his mind about things.
Yeah, I think he changes every time he wipes his ass. He changes his mind. I think that's the key right there. When he wipes his ass, I think that's where his thoughts come from. So, like right out of his ass, and then
Are you saying that when he wipes, it tickles his brain?
I think it is. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
He has an open mind, and he's willing to he's willing to change every 5 minutes.
He shits his brains out every day, and then he has to change his mind.
Okay, can you molt a brain like an insect?
Yeah.
Hang on a second while I molt my brain.
Oh shit!
I think I've molted my brain in the last 20 years. Coming from a Rush Limbaugh Republican,
Yeah.
To some kind of lefty. I'm a lefty now.
Oh no, you're making the same mistake, only in the reverse direction.
Yeah. I'm going all the way to the left. I pass the middle at 100 miles an hour.
No, don't go to the middle. Go to the north.
Go to the north. Yeah, I should go north.
The promised land of liberalism.
Well, they told me that fascism was up there, or Nazis or something. I don't know.
No,
I didn't want to go north.
That's on the line between left and right.
Maybe that's south.
Well, I mean, it's a pyramid, so it's
okay.
It's at the bottom.
White supremacists are south. Pretty sure.
So any authoritarian or totalitarians on in the south.
Okay.
It just so happens to be that's where left and right is.
I don't know. North scares me. I don't think I want any part of that. I think I'll stick on the left.
So what were you going to do? Were you going to play that video or no?
No.
You're going to say okay. You're going to save Quantum John for the weather report?
Yeah, I'm going to save him for the weather report.
All right. Yeah.
And I'll play the condensation, because the other day he was on a stream and he was complaining about me talking about his reductionism and connotation, because it sounded like but he says it so fast, so I slowed him way down, and that was really cool. It was condensation, but it was condensation. I didn't hear an N in there, John. You got to give me an N, John, if I'm going to believe you know something about biochemistry.
If we do that, we should go all out and we'll play. We'll do some of that other video when he was on Tangelo's too, because there's some good things in that too.
The God Talk one.
Yeah, he freaked out because on Tangelo called into the Atheist Experience, and he talked to Dillahunty and J Mike.
Yeah,
and it was a real short thing, right? So of course, him and on Tangelo and Mad Ducks, they have reviewed it, and Mad Ducks went crazy, of course, because of course he hates them both. He hates Dillahunty, of course, and he doesn't like J Mike, and he went crazy on what they said about the Enigma machine that was Dillahunty, and then he also went crazy on the. What J Mike said, and we'll go over it on the weather report, but he completely misconstrued what J Mike said. Like J Mike didn't say what John was freaking out about. He thought that he talked about scientific papers. He asked on Tangelo, show me scientific papers that show that that the information in biology goes from one one intelligent mind to the next. He wasn't saying that it wasn't a code or anything like that. And John, freaked out and saying he's saying that he's asking for papers that say it's not a cold and whatever, however he said it. But he was way off. Like he was freaking out. And J Mike didn't even say that. So
Andrew, you can come in and do a presentation, and I am going to mute myself or mute you guys for a minute. So take it away, guys. Talk. I gotta leave, make a phone call. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Atheist Junior, how you doing?
Hello.
That good, huh?
Hello.
Yeah, J Mike would school. Leo put in he'd school John, Quantum John, for sure.
And schooling John is like getting into a fight with a 5-year-old. It's not a competition, really.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought it was quite funny how he freaked out on.
So Leo, are you ready for your debate tomorrow?
Yeah, it's not going to be hard.
What debate?
My debate with Ahmed from Finding Truth on the Kalam cosmological argument.
Oh boy.
Danny, are you ready for your debate tomorrow?
He's a pretty nice guy, so I'm not too concerned.
What debate tomorrow?
Aren't you scheduled on a modern day debate to go up against Nephilim Free or something?
Oh, I am.
Yeah, you better study.
Start drinking now, Danny.
I don't think he is.
Yeah, I don't think I would reject debating Nephilim Free on any platform.
I mean, start drinking now if that's the case, because Lord.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything upcoming with Danny.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I see are the police systemically racist, Lisa Elizabeth versus Destiny. I am definitely going to watch that one. And then on the 26th, which would be Monday, at 7:00 p.m., Wagering on God, Dr. Graham Oppie versus Dr. Jackson.
Yeah,
that one I've already got my reminder.
Is that on modern day debate?
Assisted suicide on trial, K versus Kaz. You know what? I think I am going to watch that one. All three of these coming up are actually really good. James has really, I think, started to actually listen to some of the people in his audience and some of his moderators and actually start to turn his channel around. There's a lot of people he's not platforming anymore. He's really hammered down on, who's going to be a moderator and, people in the comment section. He's starting to pick, he's not doing the same exhaustive topics over and over again. It's the quality is going up, I would say. I missed my debate with Nephi last night. That was supposed to be me. There was a time zone issue with I'm assuming my because it told me it started at 9:05. Well, it did, but that was Eastern time. I have no idea why my YouTube was telling me that. So it's 8:50 and I'm going to Twitter to get the link into my email to get the link from James. I don't see it. I go to Twitter to message him and he's got all these messages. I'm like, wait, where are you at? And all this stuff. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I go onto YouTube and it's live and it says it's been live for, almost an hour. And I'm like, are you kidding me? What the fuck happened?
I don't know how you fucked that up because you put in this chat and yesterday's weather report the correct time. It was 9:00 Eastern. And you wrote that in the chat and that's exactly what time it started. So you had the time right because you wrote it in the chat.
Well, I wrote it right. It did start at
9:00 your time.
Yeah, because it told me that. It told me 9:05, but it didn't say AM, PM, Eastern. It does because sometimes it does, sometimes it. All it said is 9:05, and I was like, okay, all right, that seems about right for a Friday night. Little did I know that was Eastern. I don't know why I didn't think. Well, I didn't think that was Eastern because I never have to because it's usually not. I guess that's why I didn't think. That was the issue. I was really looking forward to that debate too.
Well, I think I'm looking forward to that Pascal's wager debate. That would be great.
Between who?
The one between. I'm assuming it's Pascal's wager. Oppie and Liz Jackson.
I don't think it was a Pascal's. What the hell was that? That was
wagering on God. I just assumed it was.
Oh, wagering on God? Yeah, then it might be about.
Yeah, I think you're right, Scott. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know I think I've seen Liz Jackson talk in favor of Pascal's wager.
So, what did you think of Neffy's? He sounded like he was hammered at the end.
I stopped listening after like 2 minutes into the debate because the first thing he brought up was David Berlinski, which was a person who's an intelligent designer and also an author. And I'm like, okay, if that's the best he's got, I'm sorry.
Berlinski is the snootiest mother I have ever listened to, and he is just he is the classic intellectual scum that people think of when they think of intellectual scum. That's Berlinski. He's just something else. And Neff brought him up, and there were some other things Neff said that, about atheists or materialists have no
that's I thought,
or whatever. I don't know.
I thought Mark did a fine job, because he usually does, but that was the one thing I was really looking forward to this debate, because number one, I was going to define atheism, and in a way that Neff would agree with, belief that God does not exist. But then I was going to define what reasonable was in order for us to define something being unreasonable. And what I was going to say is that atheism is an answer to only one question. Is there a God? And an atheist would answer no. Anything else about naturalism, physicalism, materialism, morals does not matter. Atheism doesn't seek to answer those questions. Those are not propositions that atheism deals with. So they would, and every time he tried to go off on that, I'd be like, well, this is irrelevant. None of this matters. Literally none of this matters. The only thing I need to do is show that one can rationally reason their way to a belief that God doesn't exist, which it's not hard for me to do that. And there, boom, atheism is reasonable. That's it. Like, I had a game plan. I was really looking forward to this debate. I was pissed that I missed it.
Well, I guess you were.
And I like debating with Neff because I know he tries to debate and I know what to say to piss him off.
Do you remember talking to me last night?
Yes, I do.
Good. Then you okay? I have 19 more questions.
Oh boy.
You know about the 20 questions, right? Have you ever blacked out? Have you whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Who the hell can pass that test? Maybe you get 5 or more, you're supposed to be an alcoholic. I think it covered. I think those 20 questions cover about 80% of the population. Have you ever seen that little 20 question alcohol bullshit thing?
I have not. I wonder if I would pass it.
Nobody would.
Alcoholics really like to project their problems onto other people.
You don't say.
God, I'm going to remove you now. Where the fuck are you? I can't find you.
Speed is a dry drunk.
Oh, fuck, I can't see you. I can't see you because my alcoholic fucking wet brain just blurs everything. Otherwise, I'd boot you, Cerberus.
Well, what are the 20 questions? I've never heard them. I've heard people talk about them.
Well, one of them is, have you ever blacked out? Okay, have you ever missed work? Have you ever had problems at your family as a result of drinking? Shit like that, It's
I think
like,
I've ever missed work due to drinking.
my mom grounded me when I got drunk, so therefore I checked that box.
I'm sure I've done all these things, just not because of drinking.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I don't know.
I saw this thing on Wish.com where it was a big bracelet that doubled as a flask, and in the ad it showed this girl at work and she poured alcohol into her drink. I think if you have one of those, you might be an alcoholic.
Maybe.
Yeah. If you have to do that.
So I think I understand a really good, okay, I was 24 years old, and I'd been seeing a psychologist from the time I was a teenager because I was all fucked up, right? The psychologist finally decided he couldn't do anything with me, so he referred me to an alcohol counselor. And this was on Wednesday. So I went in there and I'm like all smart ass, and it's like, yeah, I don't really have an alcohol problem. And he said, well, okay, if you don't have an alcohol problem, make an appointment to see me next Wednesday, and you go the entire weekend, just don't drink this weekend, and get back to me on Wednesday, and we'll reassess, from there. So on Friday night, I was at Raleigh's bar saying, that fucker, I don't believe that son of a bitch was trying to con me into partying this weekend, you asshole. And I was and I was drunk on my ass. I had a 3-day blackout drunk, never went back.
So and he was like, yeah, that guy's an alcoholic.
I mean, I couldn't even do it for fucking 4 days, man. I couldn't even do it for. And then I was raging at him. I was at Raleigh's bar complaining about this asshole psychologist who thought I was an alcoholic. It's like, yeah, what bullshit. I've never. Yeah,
Like,
not me.
how dare you?
How dare you? And then I fucking spill beer on myself and fall on the floor.
I think there's a really easy test to see if someone's an alcoholic. Does it take willpower to not drink?
Yeah.
Depends on the situation.
Yeah, I was gonna say it depends. Like if I'm at like a party and everybody's drinking, and I'm at that instant not, and I was supposed to, for whatever reason, wasn't gonna be drinking, it would take willpower. If I'm just like at home and there's times I might not drink, I just don't want to. I don't have to will myself. I just don't really want to.
It's only a problem of willpower if you have a chemical addiction and you have withdrawals if you don't drink. That's when it requires willpower to not drink. And that can actually be dangerous for somebody who's addicted to alcohol. If they don't drink, it can actually kill you.
I wasn't an alcoholic because I really like beer, so I drank beer. So at 12 o'clock every night.
Good old beer.
Okay, the bars closed at 1, right? And so at 12 o'clock, I was already getting like really kind of sick to my stomach from all the beer that was in it. So I would go in the bathroom and stick my fingers down my throat and throw up so that I could go have more beer before 1 o'clock. But I wasn't an alcoholic.
And you were purging. That's great.
I was purging.
You were purging for more beer.
That shouldn't be funny, but it is.
It is.
What is
Speed,
it at Rome?
Speed, can you highlight Andrew's most recent comment?
You might not have been.
I just wanted to say, Andrew. No, not that one. You had it right the first time.
He can't get it up. He can't get it up.
And now it's not highlighted anymore. Jesus, what the hell are we doing, guys? Oh my God.
God damn it, Scotty.
Okay, so Andrew, I just wanted to let you know they make pills for that, my friend. They also have a thing that you can put around your neck with a button on it, if that's what you're talking about.
Oh my God. Okay, they have therapy for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, get help.
Try to make it stop pumping your leg.
You know what? Maybe it's probably good that he can't get up when he has a dog on him. Maybe that's a good thing.
It's probably a good thing, otherwise the dog may not like.
Now that he's 18, we can really open up on him. Isn't this cool?
Yeah. What's he like, a turtle? Is he just on the ground on his back and can't flip over?
I don't know.
You gotta roll like a turtle does. You gotta roll.
No, if I have a cat on me, if I have a Thor on me or a Loki on me, I can't get up because I'm afraid to disturb my kitty's slumber.
Oh, shit, I pick him up and say, all right, I gotta go pee, or I'm hungry, I'm going to get food. Sorry, you gotta move. Sorry.
That's why I vacuum my room every 6 months because it upsets the kitties. I don't like upsetting my kitties.
Well, the thing is, too, if you upset your cat will get back at you in the most vicious way it can.
Yes, yeah, they do.
None of my cats have ever done that.
Speed, can I ask you a question?
Yeah. Well,
what is the difference between the weather report and Saturday Night at the Atheist?
Well, the weather report.
There's more bullshitting here.
More bullshitting. We're going to try to make the weather report 1 hour of bullshitting on the second hour, but nobody's getting in the first hour except for like 2 people.
You mean Peter isn't getting in on the first hour?
No one's getting in.
Okay.
Yeah, when Amy did her last stream and they were reviewing that video, I need to go back and look how long that stream was. They said it was like an hour and a half long video, and they were going through all of it. And with Peter there, I was like, yeah, I'm not coming in. I'm outie 5,000 guys. I'll listen until I'm going to bed, but then I'm going to bed. I'm not waiting up for this because it's going to be another 17 hours before I get in that room. So you guys have fun. Actually, I do want to go look and see how long that stream was.
It's like 10 hours
Over
long.
10 hours. Yeah, it was 10 hours.
Yeah, dude, Jesus. Amy's pulling a praise, guys. She's going praise on us. She's going praise on us.
Amy's stream
10 hours,
like,
19 minutes and 40 seconds. Holy
trying
shit.
to get into Amy's stream is like waiting in line outside a nightclub.
Waiting for her to start her stream is like waiting for James.
Is Amy going live tonight? Oh, 10 hours.
I believe she
is.
Yes, she is. I just clicked my homepage. Yes, she is.
On the contingency argument.
In 45 minutes, but we all know how Amy is starting her shows, and I hope she doesn't change because I love Amy the way she is. But so that we got a good hour and 15 minutes before she's actually
yeah,
on screen and live. So we got some time. Well, I would say midnight here. 11:50 midnight
Well,
here, so we've got some time.
where I am,
We don't have
an
to
hour and a
worry
half.
about any. We don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah, relax, take it easy.
Because I mean, we've already been going for you've already been going for over an hour and a half. So, I mean,
Yeah, I'm burning out.
He's on fumes.
Fucking pussy.
I'll probably wander off.
Hey, getting back to that Matt
Wait,
Dillahunty, J Mike thing.
Before that, I'm a pussy. I stayed up.
Wait, who said that?
babysat.
Who said that?
What?
You said that.
I didn't say that. What the fuck?
You did.
No, I didn't.
I
No,
heard
I
you
didn't.
say
I
it.
didn't. I didn't say that. It wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Would you? What?
You just called him a pussy.
All I heard was Speed say, "Wait," and he said something. He's like, "I'm a pussy," and I'm just like, "What the fuck are we talking? Wait, wait," and that's where I got confused. Who said that?
Somebody
You
called
Where
said
the
that.
fuck did Danny go?
I was
That-
up
Okay, no,
babysitting you
Danny is
last
a pussy.
night.
Danny
I
is
was
a
up
Babysitting. Babysitting. What's
picking
all
up the
this?
pieces, telling him how to
Uh-oh.
triage his wounds, and
Uh-oh.
What
that's
triage?
why
Man? What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
I stayed up all night. I got 2 hours of sleep last night, and it's your fault.
I was in there for 30 minutes. What are you talking about? It was me, you, and Drace.
I love
But boy, it was 30 minutes of pure Leo.
Whatever. Whatever.
Wow.
Nobody can take that. No one.
I don't know. I don't even know what that means.
I know.
Yeah, it's probably for the better.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
Germania.
Matt Dillahunty.
Oh, Matt Dillahunty.
I did get that debate link, Germania, and I do remember that. That conversation wasn't that long ago. I shouldn't have forgot it, but I did.
What about Dillahunty?
I was
I've
just
seen
wondering when
the original.
Scott.
The original video of Matt Dillahunty when Otangelo called in.
Yeah.
I've seen that, and Matt Dillahunty called him one of the stupidest people he's ever talked to.
Wow, that's
I
okay,
would
I'm
disagree
gonna have
with
to
that.
disagree with him on that
Yeah.
because Otangelo has factoids memorized. Any kind of can think, kind of like
Kind of.
it's hard to say how much he knows and how much he's memorized.
Oh, I'm sorry. Otangelo can reason. I've seen it in his face and I've heard it in his voice when, like, the 4 or 5 times that he's brought a paper here and said it says a thing the paper literally says it doesn't. It's not saying, and Speed has made him quote it. He can reason. He knows that. He just acts like, that's what they do. They just keep steamrolling right along. It doesn't matter what. They just keep fucking going. But he can reason. I know he can
Well,
reason.
We've
He
seen
can reason, but he
Otangelo
can't
more than
reason
once.
well,
This was
I guess.
Well, no, he can reason. He just chooses to ignore what his reason tells him. That's what he's doing. It's the same with John. It's the same with a lot of them. I don't think they're stupid. They're not stupid people. They're not unintelligent. They just don't want. They're just going to ignore anything that disagrees with their. It's just cognitive dissonance with them. That's all it is. It's a lot of cognitive dissonance and a lot of Dunning-Kruger. But they're not stupid people. Just like Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is not dumb. He's just dishonest.
He was on Dessel's stream today telling us that the Shroud of Turin is absolute proof of the resurrection of Jesus. And
Even though
he just absolutely buys that and Noah's Ark.
Wasn't it Cerberus that was the one that asked him one time? But how do they know that it's the face of Jesus? Was that you that asked him? Or am I thinking of somebody else? I thought that was you. On like
The
Jeff's
response was, who
channel
else
or
would it
something?
be?
Yeah, it was probably me.
I'm pretty sure you're like, yeah, but wait, Otangelo, how do we even know that this is the face of Jesus? Like, what else do we have to compare his actual face to? And he couldn't answer. And then I think Jeff asked, I think it was you, because I think Jeff asked him, and yeah,
Yes.
what about, he said, like, what about that? What was it, like 200 or 600 years or whatever it was in between where nobody knew where it was at? Like, what about that? How
Yeah.
like from the time that it covered Jesus to the time that it was discovered, it was, well, no, I think it was like 1200 years, something like that. And they said, where was it during all of this? What happened? Why did nobody know about it? And then all of a sudden it turns up. He couldn't answer any of these questions, but that's what I said. He knew
the mind of God.
in his mind, he knew exactly what the conclusions of both those questions. He knew what the answer to both those questions were, and he knew what the conclusion was. He knew how to get there. He just chose to ignore it. He just didn't care.
Well, I don't understand how wrapping somebody in a tarp makes an imprint of their face like that. Like, how does that work? Can we recreate this in the lab?
Well, if they're rotting in the sun
That's
for
the
3
thing.
days.
They tried to with covering somebody that would have been bloodied like Jesus would have been. And number one, when you look at like the facial structure and the body design, it doesn't seem to entirely resemble somebody from the Middle East. It could, but there's some like anthropologists and whatnot have called that into question. They've tried to run simulations on how that would actually imprint on somebody of the same general size and shape and everything with blood that's all bloodied, and it doesn't really match up. The idea that the Shroud of Turin is from Jesus is just not even remotely
there's a pretty thorough article about that on infidels.org. It's kind of dated, I think. You know, it's just an older article, but it's still pretty good, and it just basically says that the proportions of that shroud would make for a human being, you know, who's just like arms are way too long and he's real tall. The forehead would look like a Neanderthal or something like that.
Oh yeah, that would not go well with Otangelo.
Yeah.
What was the temperature during those 3 days when Jesus was laying in the tomb dead?
Who knows?
Probably fairly cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably fairly cool. Maybe in like the low mid 60s, something like that. Maybe the high 50s.
Fairly well preserved.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's not cool enough.
That's pretty decent That's pretty decent. It's not going to have accelerated decay.
I think bodies start to smell bad after 24 hours, something like that.
It depends on the conditions they're in, like especially if it's like not being infested by flies, and if there's not like being subject to like immense heat.
And what about the maggots? Were the maggots resurrected?
Well, there wouldn't. I don't think flies would have been able to get to him to lay maggots if he was blocked off by a boulder.
Yeah, if he's blocked off by a tomb.
Wait a minute, no. Did they cement that boulder? Did they grout it? Did they have grout?
There were bugs in. They put him in a cave. Essentially, is what they did.
There were flies. They really egged him.
Yeah, but it would block off like just being in the open air would be a lot worse.
There are a lot of beetles. Other things that are in the cave. I mean,
worms. But if he was wrapped in a tarp,
they can eat through and crawl into. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not buying this.
The chances of getting you away from bugs is slim. Very, very slim.
Yeah.
I mean, he must have.
They can smell a dead body.
Yep. How long does it take a maggot to hatch?
I have no idea.
Probably a few hours.
Like less than like a few days.
I'm Googling it.
Have you guys seen when they use maggots in hospitals to clean necrotic flesh off of a wound?
I've heard of that.
2 hours to 3 days. Okay, depends on.
Oh, so we were both right.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Kind of like me and Dessel Drace last night. We were both. We agreed with each other, and he's wrong, so I must have been wrong, and so we were in a wrong de loop, which is
what's he wrong about now?
I can't remember what we agreed on. I can't remember. It's something to do with naturalism. I think it was scientism.
I thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken.
I keep getting accused of being scientistic by a bunch of theists on Twitter.
I've never been wrong. I've never been wrong in my life, so.
Danny never has.
I've been wrong so much in my life that it's not even funny.
I don't know what this scientism
and that is why I am not often wrong now, is because I have been wrong frequently in the past. And I'm still wrong now, and that's why the longer I live, the less wrong I usually am.
Everything I say is wrong except that, and that, and that, and that.
Well, I'm wrong right now.
Yeah, that's the liar's paradox.
Yep.
I don't know what scientism is. It's like a new thing.
Scientism is something you don't need to learn about because it's not really meaningful.
Yeah, it's just another way of phrasing the thing of you have a religion too argument.
Wait, what?
Well, scientism is a philosophy that's been around for a while, but was
born out of the logical positivist movement.
Oh, I thought it was like evolutionism. Like
no. It's that the best way to understand any aspect of the world and our place within it, any aspect, is primarily through scientific methodologies, which is already demonstrably false, because the best way to understand like mathematics is not through scientific methodologies. The best way to understand ethics is not through scientific methodologies. Numerous other epistemology, not through scientific methodologies. Logic, not through scientific methodologies. There are numerous areas where we don't use anything like scientific methodologies to understand them, and we understand them just fine.
Yeah, science is used to understand like natural processes and natural phenomena, not really like human logic and stuff like that.
Well, it can be. You can attempt to do it in things like psychology or
Yeah.
sociology and stuff like that, but it can't access things like mathematical logic or stuff like that. Mathematical logic is on a different playing field
I
entirely.
mean, even things like epistemology, science depends on epistemology. So then how could its methodologies explain epistemology? This is one of the issues with scientism, is that if the methodologies you're using to explain certain things depend on those things you're trying to use it to explain, then how are you going to explain them? It makes no sense. And that's why I'm not scientistic.
The thing is, science also depends on semiotics, right? So how do you?
Well, pretty much everything does.
Yeah, but the point is, like, how do you explain semiotics using science?
Exactly.
I don't think you.
God, where the fuck is Danny going? Why is he being such a little
semiotics?
Yes, semiotics.
How do you explain
semiotics?
Using
wait, okay, no, wait. I do have a really quick question. What is this semi-optics you guys keep talking about? That stems to statistics, whatever the fuck it. I'm just fucking with you guys. Semi-optics. Wow.
So maggots crawl 50 feet away from where they're hatched after they're done eating, and they go into a cocoon. 50 feet. That's quite a trek. That's like a fucking Mecca type trip, right? Like they
like
must
a marathon for them.
Yeah, they must be like religious. Huh?
Did somebody measure that?
I think so. Yeah.
A scientist did.
A scientist. Scientist did it.
Well, actually, the darn things can wait. No, the pupa or the pupa can't fly yet. So yeah, that is quite a long. That is quite a long distance for them.
I'm
for
just
them to little
imagining them,
wiggle their way,
wriggling across the ground like.
Okay,
I'm gonna make it.
think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can.
Okay, I'm gonna give them attention. Who is Wesley Curry? Because they're making me giggle out there.
Yeah, they are.
Tooth.
I was looking at that and I'm just like, it's a troll. I don't know what to say. Y'all ought to see the video or I shouldn't say video that I did. I was on the Promethean Secular. I'll get you guys the link to it. The Promethean Secular Frontier, the PSF YouTube channel. And which is I really like their content. They're smaller, but they have 162 subscribers. It should be like 162K because they've got really good content. But we talked about time, and it was a really, really good discussion. Philosophy of time, I should say more specifically. I'm gonna get the link for
like
everybody.
Today or yesterday?
No. This would have been on the 21st, so Wednesday. It was last Wednesday. This past Wednesday. It's a little over an hour long, so it's not too long. About an hour and 7 minutes.
So Danny is pulling an Andrew Cumming or Rational.
Yeah, this is the second time. I don't know what
he's coming and going.
Doing.
Coming and going. Yeah. That's why he called himself Andrew Cumming.
And going.
I think there's like a lot of newer YouTube channels that don't have a lot of subs but are making good content, and I think in the next few years those channels are going to get pretty big.
Oh yeah, yeah. PSF is good. I mean, when I first subscribed, they had like 90-something subscribers. They're at 162 now, and it's been maybe a month, 5 weeks, something like that.
What channel is it?
Super long. PSF. I linked to the video in the private chat and in the YouTube chat. So if you go there, you'll see their channel. But yeah, they've got good content.
So Speed, if we're still talking about bugs, here's a fun question. What's the most bizarre example of like metamorphosis you can think of?
The most bizarre example? Oh
yeah.
Shit.
For me, it's like
turn
beetles.
into a werewolf. So
Maddox likes a locust. You know,
All right, this person is getting is getting put in timeout because they're not here to do anything. African orphan, you're going into timeout. Sorry.
Go ahead. Don't do it yet. Oh shit!
I just did.
You're supposed to warn me.
I mean,
I did. Well, Speed, you know me, dude. I really do not like time. I'm don't do that shit a lot. Like, you know, if I'm doing that, I'm doing it for a very like African orphan. What up, my whites? How be it going? No, I'm sorry, you're getting timed out. You're not here to get no people like that don't need to be here. I didn't hide him. I just timed him out. If it keeps going, I will hide him.
Yeah, but try to
Shit,
give me.
I did it. Why did I do it twice? Okay, so he's timed out for 10 minutes instead of 5 because I hit it twice for some reason. I don't know why.
Try to get my attention so I can save the chat so I can see what the guy said so we can hold him accountable at some later date.
If you click on comments in StreamYard, it's there. What up, my wife? Plus, if you go to the YouTube, it'll say comment hidden by Leophilius, and then it should say click here to view message, and you can just click on that and it'll show it to you.
No, but my chat saver thing, it doesn't work.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, African orphan is Jill. Oh,
okay, well then I'm not upset that I timed him out for 10 minutes.
I think a caterpillar turning into a butterfly is pretty crazy, just by itself.
Yeah, the fact
have
that
you
it
ever seen the
turned.
metamorphosis? Have you ever seen?
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, it turns into like a goop. It's like, yeah, let me just be this like little wormy thing and then go in like a shell and turn into goop and emerge with wings. Hi, Danny. Bye, Danny. Hi, Danny.
Hello.
Oh, Danny boy. The
It kind of amazes me that like wings develop.
Maybe
It
Danny's
amazes me that
an orphan.
Yeah, it just amazes me like with butterflies that wings are kind of like just pop up out of that process.
If you look at the process of a human basically developing, it's just that a human does it all in one shot. And, you know, something like a caterpillar will do it in 2 shots. But the metamorphosis is pretty astounding in any case. Going from a zygote
weird.
to anything, right?
It's kind of weird when you think about like from an evolutionary point of view, like why it would be advantageous to kind of separate the stages of development that way.
Well,
because you think
we've
about that.
We've kind of done it in a way in that, you know, we come out of the womb and we're nowhere near ready for the world, and we're sort of like still attached for, you know, what, 5-6 years before we can start to manage. So I mean, yeah, but it would be interesting to look into the evolution of that. You know what?
Yeah, because it's kind of a high risk game when you think about it. Because metamorphosis is a very it's a very metabolically taxing process, and it's also kind of dangerous if somebody spots your cocoon and decides to have lunch.
It was really early, like sea slugs and sponges and stuff. They all had these intermediate stages where they swim around for a while before they plant themselves. So I mean, it goes way back. So it's a real early development.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I live in South Texas, and I don't know how often it happens, but sometimes they have a migration from Mexico of monarch butterflies.
Oh, yes.
There will be hundreds of them in the sky. It's ridiculous.
Hundreds? You mean thousands?
Well, like, yeah, like a lot.
Fuck tons.
I've only seen that once. They every square inch of our lawn had a monarch butterfly on it. They just completely covered every tree in the lawn. And then they all took off, and it was like a cloud. It was just amazing.
And it's amazing, like how long of a trek that is for them too.
Yeah,
like the absurd distance they travel just to reproduce. I mean, and then they die. Essentially,
some people will go to great lengths to get laid.
Well, boomers go to Arizona and Florida to die. So
hey, if you're gonna die, you might as well die in Florida.
Yep. You rot fast.
I saw a picture of Florida. It's expected to look in about 30 years, 40 years, maybe 80. I don't know. But yeah, people are going to drown.
Yeah, it's an ocean.
Well, it's either gonna drown or it's gonna burn, because we're probably gonna hell in handbasket.
Have you heard of Florida Man?
Unfortunately, I have.
Yeah,
Which Florida Man?
He is the hero we deserve.
Oh yeah,
Is the joke that newspaper headlines start with the phrase "Florida man" and then it always says something crazy? Like, am I getting the joke right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. Any given day, you can go on Google and type in Florida Man News.
Or I go to the Florida man subreddit. That one is.
That works too.
Speed Wesley's back. He said, "You want war? You got it."
Wait a minute, he came back as a sock?
No, that's the same account.
Okay, but how did he get back already? It hasn't been 10 minutes.
I mean, you can make sock accounts with the same name.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, maybe that's what he did. Yeah.
Yeah, war, but yeah, come on, bring it on. Come on, I like war. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's have war. What are you gonna do? What you gonna do?
No, it was 5 minutes because it says 12 o'clock and 12.
Really?
Yeah, so it was 5 minutes.
Message. Let's see here. Where the hell is? Okay, message deleted by Leo. Ooh, he deleted those messages.
So
no, it does that when you time somebody out.
Oh no. Okay, that was African Orphan. You timed out, not Wesley.
Yes. No, I didn't time Wesley. Wesley didn't say or do anything that needs to be timed out.
Oh, I thought you timed.
I didn't see.
I timed out African Orphan.
Well, what did he do?
Well, African Orphan. Well, number one, that name, not immediately, but it said, "What up, my whites? How be it going?" in the chat. No.
Oh no.
It comes down to being able to understand trolls and just douchebags that aren't here to contribute in any way, shape, or form in any meaningful sense, and taking preemptive action. Just be like, yeah, no, you just don't need to be here.
It's probably Maddox.
No, it was Jill.
Oh.
No, I don't think Maddox is
somebody
quite
said
that,
it was Jill.
like racially charged.
No.
Oh, you should have listened to him on Praise's channel.
Well, when you give Maddox enough pats on the belly, his true colors will show.
Yeah. He was pushing it. I love when people try not to be racist.
People don't understand.
It's always the most interesting when people say, this isn't supposed to be, like, this totally isn't a racist comment, but...
But, yeah. Yep. Oh, God, I'm dying.
You're dying?
Are you?
Are
you, bud?
I'm a dying.
You're not. You're just fine.
Are you going to Nirvana?
I think I will. With Hitler.
What?
There we go.
Me and Hitler are going to enjoy our Nirvana together.
Tons of pudding.
Hashtag cancel speed.
What?
There was already an attempt on that a year ago, and it failed.
Yeah, they've been canceling me for a while. Oh, somebody else is trying to get in now. So, yeah, we got
They're
a full
still
run.
using the speed of pudding thing again. They're still using that, apparently.
Well, he's using the haven't read my books thing, and what else is he using? And the meth thing. I
Who's
went on
saying
there
he
and
hasn't read my book? What?
I went on there and
There
confronted
was
him.
a year or so ago. There was this thing about how Speed has just an ass ton of books, but hasn't read a fair bit of them, and that was leveraged against him.
Oh,
by,
and so
Smokey.
wait, Smokey's the one that accused him of not reading these books?
Smokey and Maddox, too, I think.
Well, no, I just want to know who's the one that accused him of not reading the books that he has.
Smokey was the big one.
So Smokey was the one that was accusing you of not reading the books that you have.
Right. Yeah,
So
because
when he did that, and did you go on a stream and then start pulling out your books and saying, you know what? No mention of Goodell's incompleteness theorem.
I did. Yeah. I did. Well, I held up 10 ABio books and I said I'd only read 2 of them or something like that. You haven't even read them all. And it's like, and then I told them that, I've got like, right now I've got about 3,000 books. About 40% of them are textbooks. And no, I haven't read them all, because to read like 800 textbooks, I mean, it takes a quarter to go through it.
Most of the books I buy, I use just as reference.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people buy books for,
Danny,
especially more academic books.
You got the same disease I got, that you have to go from book to book. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've only read, I couldn't even tell you, I don't even know how many of these books I haven't read, but the majority I haven't read. But all of them I've looked through and pulled either quote or citations or something was clarified that specifically clarified. I didn't need an overall picture.
Yeah, the way I say it is I've read 5% of every book, and I've read 5% of the books, but I think it's more like 10 or more. But I mean, I have at least read 5. I will have highlights in 5% of every single book I have.
And lastly, people just like collecting books. Some people collect stamps, some people collect rocks, some people collect books. It's not a big deal.
Well, the thing is, when you're studying one subject, if you go out and get 10 books and you look across all the books, you're going to get a really wide range of information about that subject.
I collect books, mostly ones that have the Bell's incompleteness theorem in the index.
There we go.
Yeah. You got to.
I mostly collect bodies.
Mostly collect what?
Bodies.
You collect bodies?
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
He's out here
You're gonna have to
catching
put it
bodies,
down.
guys.
Yeah.
I've listened to all the audiobooks that I've bought.
I can't
I
do
know it's
audiobooks.
different.
I don't learn shit from audiobooks.
Yeah, I
haven't
get
really tried audiobooks
I've got to
enough really-
hold the book in my hand. Plus,
I
the
don't-
book can be continually used as a reference. You can always refer back to it whenever you need to. I suppose you could with an audiobook, but you got to sit there and listen to it. You can't highlight things. You can't,
Yeah, you can make
put a little
bookmarks.
sticky note on the side of it. It's not there as a material thing on yourself. Like, I mean, because this is the book immediately next to me, the one that Speed so graciously gifted me. This is right next. I have the physical book here. I can anytime I want, I can open it up, go to pages that I can highlight something in it. I don't have anything highlighted in it yet. I probably won't. This will be a book I don't think I'll highlight. It's not a textbook, so I don't need to. But yeah, I've got the physical, tangible book, and when I'm reading, if I'm not like holding the book here, like I don't get anything.
Okay,
For a young,
Boomer.
for a young man, that's rare for a young guy, you know.
I usually like reading. I usually like reading
I
books
used
as
to do?
PDFs.
The Audible
I can
app
do that
lets
too.
you timestamp bookmark timestamps, and I just get so bored when I'm driving. That's when I like to listen to them. When I have a long drive.
Well,
One
for
thing I
driving, I
do is
usually
if
will
I'm
do.
exercising or if I'm driving, I like to listen to like detective stories or fiction. Essentially, the Expanse. I never read one word off a page of the Expanse. I listen to the audiobooks.
Well,
and
yeah.
also
Usually, when I'm bored as
audiobooks
hell, I just listen to like Forensic Files or True Crime Daily or something.
Well,
something like that.
audiobooks are good for people with dyslexia.
True.
I gotta go feed the coons.
If you have dyslexia, do not become a mathematician. You are going to get.
It's funny because I know a lot of people that are dyslexic and are fucking phenomenal at math.
That's bizarre.
But dyslexia doesn't really have much. Dyscalculia is dyslexia, but with math.
Yeah,
is what they call
with
that.
letters. Dyslexia is with letters.
Dyslexia is words and letters will switch. You'll see letters as letters that they're not. You'll see numbers as numbers that they're not. Operations as that they're not. And
Maybe algebra. Algebra has
buddy.
letters in it, but I don't know.
Yeah, but you're not reading words, so it's not. It's. But yeah, there is a dyslexia for math, and it's called dyscalculia.
I did not know that actually. Huh.
That's an interesting term. I've not heard it either.
Hey Scott, you know that guy?
Very glad I don't have it.
Petrov, that little science
Yes.
guy that we watched there. He just put out a video on that subject that you were talking about. That the ripples from the asteroid hit from.
Yeah. That sounds pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, from the asteroid that took out the dinosaurs.
Yeah, the ones they found out in Louisiana.
Just struck the Earth so hard that ripples went through its crust for a ways.
a lot of power.
A distance.
I love what they can do with those explosive
it came in at what did it come in at 35,000 40,000 miles an hour. That's that's fast. Like that is
packing some heat.
I think it was somewhere in 30 or 35,000. The space center or the space station moves at what 17,000 18,000 miles per hour, something like that, or is it 17 miles a second? No, it can't be because it doesn't move as fast as the Earth, and the Earth only moves at I think it's like 17,000 miles an hour or something like that. But yeah, 35. Oh, but that is
That's pretty dang quick.
And that's not even. Imagine one coming in at 70,000, which can happen. Has happened on the Earth. There's been impacts that have, I think, exceeded 50,000 miles. That would have been during the bombardment, naturally, but
the ISS travels
I'll
about
tell you
5
what.
miles a second.
5 miles a second. Okay.
I want what Leo's having tonight.
He's just
I'm having
overdosing
some
on
science.
science, man.
Yeah,
He's just pure.
Oh, gotta get that science.
He's mainlining the science.
He's snorting it. Oh, real quick, shout out to Iron Charioteer. Sorry, I've been drinking. I might be mumbling and stumbling through my words, but Iron Charioteer, I saw that you were in the chat and that you are listening and no longer watching. So, hello if you're still listening from Germania. Sorry, I had to get that out.
By the way, I did want to say, as it popped into my mind, that you think like even 50, 60, 70,000 miles an hour is fast. You should they're called oh my god particles, because when they were discovered, like the first thing the researchers said was, oh my god. They were cosmic rays, which are like just very, very high energy, alpha particles or something like that, that were going at 99.999999999999999% the speed of light.
You sounded like a German.
Wow.
For a 5-year-old.
That's pretty significant.
I saw the PBS Spacetime video about that.
Someone
did you?
Someone take
Yeah,
a snippet of Leo saying that and dub it over that video of Hitler slamming the door.
999.
I remember back on YouTube, like many years ago, when everybody would dub over or make subtitles over that clip from a movie about Hitler and Hitler's men informing him that the war was over or something, and they would,
he
change
freaks
the
out on him.
subtitles. Yeah.
Yeah, and they
It'd
dude,
be
some
like
of
Chuck
those were
Norris is
so
coming.
fucking prime. Some of those were so fucking prime.
I remember like one of my first exposure to like really, really good memes were the ones where
What's going on, Nerd Squad?
Alex Jones is going on about the water turning the frickin' frogs gay.
Oh, there's a channel called Place Boing that makes songs out of Alex Jones videos. It's really funny.
Oh, I've seen some of those.
Yeah.
One
I
of
think
my
they made
favorite.
They made one about like the atrazine turning the frogs gay. They probably have.
Yeah.
Oh, there was one. I don't know how many of you guys will know the name, but back in like 08, 09, 2010, there was a parody account on YouTube that did parodies of songs that was just fucking top notch. Rucka Rucka Ali. I don't know if anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, that shit. Oh, those were so fucking funny. Oh my god.
I like his remix or his parody of Nelly. I think he says it's only just a dream, but he's talking about she's only 17.
Yeah. The one for Kesha's song, what is it?
TikTok?
TikTok? No. Yeah, TikTok. Go Cops. Go Cops, get the dogs. Let's go fuck with old folks. That's right. Let's get high and pull over black guys. Dude, that's fucking hilarious. They're so fucking funny. Or his famous one of the Black Eyed Peas song that he parodied, I'm a Korean. I'm sure everybody knows that one.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking.
Oh, that one was fucking. That was probably one of his biggest videos.
Hey,
that one was beautiful.
He does actually have an original song that came out maybe within the last 2 years, and he goes over the history of philosophy and philosophers. It's really good. It's not a parody. It's one of his original, but it's so
yeah. He's
funny.
done some of his own work, and he's actually not a stupid person at all. He's just really fucking funny.
All right, Leo.
I was just thinking that gay frogs.
Mr. Smarty Pants, you got to tell me going faster than the speed of light. How does that?
It's not possible.
How does that?
Let me ask the
fucking question. Shut up. Let me ask the question. If you go faster than the speed of light, how does that negate causality?
I don't know what that means. There's no such thing as faster than the speed of light.
Oh, video just came up and I haven't watched it yet.
It negates causality because you could send information to somebody before. It's like asking a question, but the person like hears it before you ask it, because you could send information that quickly. It doesn't make sense.
In order to go faster than the speed of light, you'd have to go backward in time, and you'd have to have negative energy. It's not the phrase "faster than the speed of light" is like the phrase "before or outside of the universe." It is an incoherent statement. It's
You can't have
incoherent
mass and go faster.
Space is expanding, right? Space-time is expanding faster than the speed of light.
Because it doesn't have mass.
Well, and that's because the speed of light is a restriction on things in space-time. It is not a restriction of space-time's. The space-time is dynamic.
Yeah, and any local point of space isn't expanding faster than the speed of light. It's after
Exactly.
you get lots of space together.
Very well put.
It's like when creationists say the Big Bang was an explosion. It's not an explosion in space. It's an expansion of space-time itself.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried to explain that so many times, particularly to Matt Powell, of all people.
I still would like to have a discussion with that guy about the Big Bang, because I might be able to get something through that thick ass fucking head. I'm sure you could smash his head off concrete several times and he'd be okay. It's fucking thick.
It'd be like the
I don't
opening
know.
of American History X.
There's some things you just can't solve, and certain kinds of stupid are just one of them.
This is true.
There's certain things you just can't solve. Really advanced differential equations and why some people are fucking stupid.
I need that on a t-shirt.
Exactly. Two things you can't solve: advanced partial differential equations, why people are stupid. Oh, that'd be fun. I think I might put that on a shirt.
Yeah,
honestly.
like we need a theory of everything and a theory of stupidity.
So the mutant frogs of Duluth, Minnesota are still a mystery.
Wait, do what now?
They found 6.5% of all the frogs in this pond in close to Duluth, Minnesota, were growing multiple limbs and other weird deformities.
Did they rule out?
And now they're making an eco horror film about it.
Well, the
Based
thing
in
about
Duluth.
the chemicals in the water turning frogs gay, like there was a kernel of truth to that, but it was more about like I think
hormones, right?
Yeah, like I think if you dump birth control and stuff like that down the drain, it has hormones in it, and it was changing the genders of frogs, or it was making frogs that were both male able to like populate
Hermaphrodites and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Weird shit. Mhm.
But they weren't turning gay, like. But there was some truth to that. I
Is
found
there
that out, like,
homosexuality? Is there homosexuality in frogs? Does anybody know?
I don't know. Have you ever tried to watch two frogs fuck? I haven't.
Oh, no.
I'm sure there are people out
There's
there
something on
that
Pornhub for that.
probably have.
Are we assuming the frog's gender based on their genitalia?
Well, no. Just
I don't.
one of
Yeah,
the
I don't know why
considerations.
we're using the term gender. It would be their sex.
Yeah,
frogs
I was thinking it was
probably don't
something
have
like
gender.
pesticides. or
I will not tell
house.
tell a frog how to identify with its designated pronouns. Okay.
By the way, Will Kincaid, atrazine is not Roundup. Roundup is glyphosate,
Yeah,
which is much better than atrazine.
and there's really nothing wrong with
Glyphosate
Roundup.
does not affect living creatures other than plants. It
And
might have a slight effect on some insects, but mostly
If you-
no. Because
if you
what it
drink it.
does is it inhibits how a plant photosynthesizes. So if you don't have the proteins for photosynthesis, glyphosate does nothing to it. Passes through your body pretty much unmetabolized.
It breaks
Now, I'm not
down
saying go
in
out
the
and fucking
ground.
drink it, but it
Soil-
it does, but not.
So-
It takes longer. It takes a longer time than
Yeah, but
some
not
others.
not that long, because you can plant seeds in the same ground 2 days later. So,
Well, of
and-
course,
and-
it's
and
Roundup.
the other thing,
Well, of course,
it
it's not
causes.
supposed to round.
But
it's
you
not
can
supposed
you
to
can
last
only
forever.
you can only plant BT traded. No,
It
not
causes-
wait. Yeah, you can only. Is it BT? Is it BT? No. Roundup Ready. You can only plant Roundup Ready seeds. If you planted a non-Roundup Ready seed, shit ain't gonna grow.
No, I've done it. And
then-
yeah, it
they
it
didn't
goes,
put
it
either
breaks down.
Either A, there wasn't Roundup in whatever you were planting that seed in, or B, that was a Roundup Ready seed.
You're wrong. I've done it 100 times. I'm a gardener. I know it's
You do
fucking
know
tough.
I took classes in agronomy and agricultural science, correct? I've
That's
actually
okay.
worked with these chemicals and the people who apply them.
And then how did my plants grow then when I planted
I
them?
told you either A, there wasn't Roundup in that field, or it wasn't like Roundup. It was the
But
Roundup you
Leo,
buy. Hold
I
on,
had-
it was probably the Roundup you buy at the store, which is not the Roundup that farmers
No, I had
use.
40.
Or
I had
it was a Roundup Ready seed.
Okay, Leo, I had 42% Roundup concentrate, which I mixed myself, which came from a feed store, which they put on crops to get rid of weeds. That was Roundup. It was a glyphosate. I would mix it at 2 or 3 times the strength. I would kill the weeds, and I would plant seeds, and the seeds grew fine. It only affects it only affects it won't affect the seed. It only affects the leaf of the plant, and it has to be in the sunlight in order to photosynthesize.
Actually, you know what? I think you're right, because I don't think seeds when they're germinating, they don't produce the protein that's utilized in photosynthesis, do they?
Yeah, but I think it breaks down pretty quickly, and it's
Well, no, but
it's a real
seeds-
simple compound.
Do seeds produce that enzyme? That I think it's a protein. I could be wrong. Or like maybe more than one protein. I don't know. I know there's like some sort of enzyme or chemical that plants
Yeah, I
produce.
think it doesn't it replace it replaces something in the metabolic chain because the molecule is the same shape, right?
Yeah, I think so.
that's what-
All I know is when you give glyphosate to a plant, it can no longer photosynthesize naturally. It will die. But yeah, you were right. Yeah. I don't know why I was thinking seeds. It could affect seeds.
I know what plants crave, and it's Brondo.
Yeah,
I don't know what that
Brondo. Yeah. Here it is. It's pretty simple.
Oh, so it's a little phosphate
You got a
derivative.
phosphorus
Okay, kinda
compound,
cool.
phosphonate.
So I did see gonna
Okay,
go
here
for
it
its
is.
question, and the answer to that question is very simple: time dilation.
2 words.
The
It's
an-
pretty simple.
The answer is simple, but time dilation is not simple.
Well, the math behind it isn't that bad. I mean,
The math behind what?
like the mathematics for dilation aren't that.
Time dilation?
aren't that bad.
No, Lorentz transformations aren't. It's. I don't. If I recall correctly, I don't even think you have calculus in it. I think it's just some algebra, just a little bit of linear algebra.
Yeah,
You're just, you're just transforming from frames of reference in a coordinates from one. Not really. I mean, in a technical sense, you're moving from a coordinate space to the other, but it's the same coordinate space. It's just its structure changes because once you begin to approach the speed of light, your 2 axes begin to converge on each other. So if you, I think it's called a Lorentz boost actually, when you go from a I think it's called a non-inertial frame of reference to a relativistic frame. Your axes will converge, and so the points in them will change position, and we can measure that in terms of like spatial dimensions as something getting shorter, length contraction, and in the time dimension, the clock will elapse. The time on the clock elapses more slowly, time dilation, and that's where those effects come from.
My mind is blown.
Yep.
Yeah, and just for the people interested, any Roundup you put in, depending on the weather and your soil and exposure to the sun, Roundup can last, effectively last like under 2 weeks sometimes.
If you were spraying Roundup on a field, it's got about 8 weeks worth of use of weed suppression, which was I should say that's if you're using a pre-emergent herbicide, which is where you plant and then you wait.
Right.
You plant and then like literally by the same day or the day after you spray to suppress any of the weeds, because the seed obviously it's not going to affect seeds because like Speed said, they're not actively photosynthesizing anything, so the chemicals involved in that the glyphosate shuts down aren't really there, so the seed will be just fine.
So you read the part where it said that glyphosate is not a pre-emergent herbicide.
Well, it can be used in pre-emergent herbicides because what it does is it kills the weeds that are there in the field.
It's some formulation that basically I don't know how that would work.
Liberty Link is a pre-emergent, but you can use glyphosate. You use glyphosate in a field where the weeds are already grown, which can happen quite frequently.
Well,
depends on how the field was. If you till the field in the fall, chances are going to be lower of having to put like, which a pre-emergent anyway, if you're not using glyphosate, is going to kill weeds before they germinate and is going to kill already present and established weeds. But there are some people that'll use glyphosate and just kill the weeds that are there and then plant, because glyphosate Roundup is pretty cheap.
Here's a fun fact about Roundup. If you buy it in at Home Depot or whatever, you'll pay $10 for like a pint of it, and it's like weak ass shit. But if you can go to a feed store, buy 42%, and you can make about $15,000 worth of Roundup with, and it costs right now, it runs about $42. So,
Damn.
yeah.
Where
anyway, you go to any feed. Well, in fact, I think you can buy the concentrate now. They lost the patent or something on it, so you can buy it now. I think at Home Depot, 42% Roundup.
I don't
and
know
it's
who
about
lost the
$42.
patent, but it sure as hell wasn't Monsanto.
Well, I was just trying to point out like Roundup. If you have the right weather, Roundup in the soil can have a half-life of like 3 days.
Yeah, it goes away pretty fast.
But it's unpredictable.
I love Roundup.
It's unpredictable because in some environments it can last like 200 days for one half-life.
Yeah, I use Roundup all over the fucking place.
The chemistry of glyphosate.
My neighbor was a real tree hugger. Her yard was just a big bush because she thought plants had feelings and she wouldn't cut her bushes down. So I would go out and round up, and she'd just growl at me and say, "You don't get any of that on my property."
I'd be like, "Yeah, it's not windy out."
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I don't accept your answer.
That's too bad.
We don't accept anything.
If we both fly in a spaceship at the speed of light, I look outside into your spaceship and see you walking through the windows from the back to the front. You're going faster than the spaceship.
You wouldn't see me walking.
No, because you're lazy, but you could do it.
No, you wouldn't see. I'm not lazy. You wouldn't see anybody walking. You wouldn't see any movement because you wouldn't experience a passage to time at the speed of light.
But
there would be two events you would have any experience of, and you would experience them simultaneously: the moment of your creation and the moment of your destruction, and that's it.
Well,
a human would not experience moving at the speed of light. To them, I don't even know if they would experience time still passing at 1 second.
I don't need to experience it. I just need to look outside, look through the window, and see you walking.
That would be an experience, though. You wouldn't see somebody walking if you did that. You would see them frozen.
Leo, I got a treat for you. Church of Entropy is in Amy's chat right now, waiting for Amy.
Oh boy.
Okay. I don't really have a problem with Jen, so I don't know what.
Anyway, well,
I have a very low tolerance for narcissists.
I don't think she's narcissistic. I don't.
Oh, she definitely is.
I wouldn't call her a narcissist.
Oh, she definitely is.
Not a narcissist.
Ticks all the boxes. Ticks all the boxes. She does.
Wait,
I don't think so.
Amy Newman? Is that
no.
Church of Entropy.
I think that she's got a level of condescension to her, but I don't. I would not use the word narcissist. I'm not disagreeing with you guys in terms of arrogance and condescension. I wouldn't go as far as to say narcissist.
The thing that makes me think she's a narcissist is the fact that instead of referencing other literature to bolster her points, she references her own, right?
Well,
she refuses to take
the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little weird with Church of Entropy because she takes it to the nth degree.
That was good. I thought Amy for a moment was stuck in time.
What is going on here?
It's Amy.
No, it's something else.
You're not on the right stream. That's not tonight's stream.
Oh, Church of Entropy. Yeah. I saw her and John Maddox go at it for a while on a Praise I Am stream.
What were they talking about? Do you remember?
I don't even remember. I just know that it was a dumpster fire.
Was it any relation to information theory, codes and coding?
I think it was
information and shit like that, because I have a feeling that. And Jen's even told me, or Church of her name is Jen. She goes by Jen. I call her Jen. has even told me that that she's gone head to head with him. I got to be honest. I would not use the word. Somebody else wants to. That's fine. Whatever. I'm not a psychologist. Neither are they. I'm not going to say she's a narcissist. I could be wrong. You know, maybe she gets diagnosed and she is.
I'm not.
But I wouldn't use that word. But she's
It
not.
gets It gets overused anyway. So stop.
Well, and that's the thing is that I don't use the word narcissist the way that a lot of other people do. When I say it, I mean because a narcissist is somebody who suffers from narcissistic personality disorder. This is a legitimate psychological disorder.
Yeah,
if I'm
I
calling
know.
somebody a narcissist, I'm saying that I genuinely think they suffer from this disorder. I don't think she does. So I'm not going to call her a narcissist. If,
I can use other
most
terms.
most people use
self-absorbed.
Yeah, most people use that term to mean somebody who is like maybe egotistical or arrogant or comes off as condescending, like John Maddox. I would say that he's arrogant. I don't think he's. No, I don't think I would call him.
It's funny you should mention him. I watched that that interaction that he had with Otangelo regarding the Benny Hinn song, and
really?
Then Otangelo started talking about me. I may have developed a slight erection when that happened.
Uh-oh.
It was that was amazing.
You need to somebody needs to troll Otangelo and ask him like, "Oh, I've never heard of that song. Could you give me an idea of what it sounds like?"
Hey,
just
Peter.
have him. And just have him kind of hum the song.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me.
Peter.
Yes.
Do me a favor and check Twitter.
Why?
Check Twitter.
Just check Twitter, please.
Who was it? Who was it that got?
It's working.
Who was it that left the atheist community on Twitter today? It was
Rose. I think Rose something.
No. Somebody. Who the hell was that?
Was a female?
No. Hey Siri. Hey Siri.
Hey.
Open Twitter.
I got a message midnight, but I have no clue who that is.
Okay, Peter. I'm honestly not in the mood for jokes tonight. Okay, I just need to talk to you.
Okay, it's Telltale. Telltale.
Oh, wait, he did what?
He says he's leaving the atheist community.
He's not saying that he's not an atheist anymore. He's just
Right.
not involved with the online community and everything.
Did he
say
say
a lot of it's a lot of shit. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
he's been through a lot of shit the past few months.
A
So.
lot.
What happened?
And I'm not gonna personally mention it, and I don't think it should. Not live. But the thing is that the atheist community also wasn't seemingly very receptive to what he was, his problems, and wasn't so that it's a lot of bullshit, a lot of fucking bullshit.
I'm just curious in which part of the atheist community did this happen, because I've noticed that there are multiple parts of the atheist community.
I know.
One of them is extremely toxic, and that is mostly due to someone who isn't an atheist. But
I thought that was really weird, because I don't know what the hell the atheist community is. I mean, there's a bunch of different little mini communities. I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay, the thing is,
and
that's
people.
true of.
Yeah,
The thing is that that's true of, unfortunately, of all groups, right? Most
you're gonna
most
end up in
communities of
trouble.
liberal people don't have all the same values. They vary personal, radically on individual policies and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I got blocked and kicked out of a group earlier today because the guy who thinks that he should call out Kent Hovind because laws and rules don't apply to him thinks that laws and rules don't apply to him, and I pointed that out, and that was apparently wrong.
Oh, is this guy a sovereign citizen?
No, this guy's former IRS. Hovind mentions him a lot.
Oh,
that guy.
What did I tell you guys? What did I tell you guys? Amy's stream has already been pushed from 11:30 to 11:50. I think it's that she. I think James works. I'm assuming he works later into the night, and she waits for him. She waits for him to get home. So that's why, which is all good.
Yeah.
It gives you time to prepare for the stream, and it gives us time to continue streaming.
Holy shit! It's 12:40. But
How much do I have to pay to get out of here?
No, it's not. It's 11:40.
No,
That
it's
is young.
five.
no, it's
It's 6:40.
11:40.
No, it's 11:40 p.m. Everybody
It
knows
is
this.
It is 6:40.
Central.
oh my
the Earth is
fucking
flat.
god! I don't
The
care
Earth
what
is
time it
flat.
is.
The Earth is flat, and it is 11:40. Right?
Water always finds its level. It is 11. It is 12:45.
Yeah, I
We
just
need
need
to-
to talk to.
It is
We need to
11:40.
get an Englishman in here because they invented time. They'll tell us what time it is.
I'm just demonstrating the concept of relativity to people, and that time is relative
It's
because it is.
12:40.
It's 11:40.
It's 6:40.
It's 11:40.
Oh my god,
What?
Peter, just message me when you're ready to talk. Holy sh!
I'm in a fucking stream.
That was okay. You can't
I'm
make
in a
that up.
fucking stream. Did you notice that I'm here?
He probably wanted to talk to you off air. If I was
That would be that would
That's
be
okay. That's okay, but I'm here, and then telling me to get the fuck out and talk to someone else. I mean, seriously.
Look, if we're gonna talk about issues, nope, not gonna go there.
We got to shoot it in the head.
Shoot it in the foot this time.
Apparently, someone wants to talk to me, so you're forced to shoot it in the head.
So the best way to do that is to go into the stream and yell at the person, "Come talk to me."
Save Peter. Keep it going.
Hey, boys and girls, we're going to shoot it in the head now, okay? I'm tired.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm going to sleep more tonight than I did last night.
I would hope so.
Fucking right.
I got to watch TV.
If you're going to keep on saying shoot in the head, your next hangout needs to be called Lassie.
Well, the thing is, once he hits 1K subs, if he says shoot it in the head, he ain't gonna be able to get monetized.
Really?
What
No,
are you
you'll
using?
be able to get
No,
monetized.
no.
I'm
If we're gonna go with that, we're
Maybe
gonna
not,
use
though.
Gladys, not Lassie.
And Speed, I did see you show off your guns at once on one stream. That's another good thing to not get monetized.
Really?
Yeah,
What
really.
what kind of wussies are they? I mean, what?
The
Jeez,
same types of
dude.
people that have had to go on like BitChute and
Yeah.
other
So-
platforms to.
So I was informed of that because both Audie and I had guns in our music video that we did with Hitler, and then people said you shouldn't have guns.
Are you sure it wasn't the Hitler
Really?
part?
Wow.
No. Yeah, well, no, the Hitler part is why we got banned for hate speech. But Hitler.
Wait,
The funny
I'm
thing
missing so
is,
much context.
the funny thing is, Hitler didn't say anything. And then we got a copyright strike because we were playing a song, so we couldn't get monetized. We could still play the song, but we couldn't get monetized because of the song.
God.
Are you sure it wasn't because Hitler? No, Hitler's the thing that got us banned.
No. It wasn't the Hitler part of it. No.
That's the one that got us banned.
It was
That's
the
what
guns. Totally
I can share the link. It's not a big problem. I can share the link. It's a very nice music video. The only thing
I want to
is
see it.
we're
I
singing
kinda
with
do.
Hitler.
Yeah, next thing you know, they're going to take guns away from toddlers. Jesus Christ, what are we really coming to?
If we go, okay, so the moment Speed shoots it in the head, I'll ask Speed if I can play it backstage, so Speed
Okay.
won't get a strike and anything.
What is that?
So
Oh, let me make Leo
my
full
screen
screen.
big.
Physics exam question 15. Calculate the answer. Nice.
I'm gonna go with a nice, pretty pretty steady 27 meters per second.
The ostrich has a Woody.
Wow.
But,
Okay, we're doing it, guys. We're doing it. I love cows.
answers in atheism.
You want to have fun, you got to have cows.